get this thing right back up. No problemo. I mean, it's nothing wrong with doing a quick refresh and getting it back up. Too easy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it says right here. Okay. Now it tells me right now that we're good to go, ready to broadcast on Facebook Live, and now it's saying that everything right now is being piped to the proper channels on Mixer and YouTube and other streaming devices. So you guys give me some thumbs up, and then we'll be able to broadcast. Because I'm not cutting the feed on the website because there's people that are listening on the TuneIn app,
and we love you.
And we love you. So we don't want to neglect you guys, and say that we love you. Hey, we're just going to cut off and start. We're just changing and moving on to another platform until we get this platform square. Okay, so now it's telling me that everything's good to go. Do you want to hit new this is not a drill, or do you want to hit the drill? Okay, I'm hitting this is not a drill. And then okay. There you go. Yep. Okay. So in a second, you guys should be able to see Facebook Live pop up in a minute. It's still asking me if this is a drill, and then we can get on. Because I know you got a lot of crap to talk about, Flash. Because I know you think it's everybody's fault that this is happening, and I'm just.
Well, it's somebody's fault. It's Copeland's fault.
If this is a drill, I mean, are they trying to prevent another Hawaii?
Is North Korea attacking again? Damn it!
No. I'm just saying this is not a drill. I'm just I clicked the fire all weapons, unleash the hounds, single reactor ignition. Okay, so I'm doing some tagging. Yep, everything's going good.
We're tagging.
Yeah, I don't understand. You guys should be getting it in. There should be a little bit of a delay. So.
Do. That's all I got for like transition music.
Okay. Well, you guys should see it pop up. It's telling me now that it's up. And then now that it is up, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to kill. To save you guys confusion, I'm going to remove the post from the first post. That way you guys don't keep going back to that one. And it's not confusing you and shit.
Yeah, retards.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to get all fucking confused. And then I'm going to...
It's playing only 44 seconds. What the hell's going on?
I know what's going on. Why is there fucking a delay? And why is this in HD? Why is this in 1080p, not 4K? So right now I'm giving the signal to the main homies to share it, and it's being shared right now. So post it, and we're ready to rock again. So again, that was quick. See, easy, no prob, no government shutdown here. We ain't got to worry about. Yeah, that government, man, they're trying to fuck me up. So happy. Well, shit, we were celebrating a government shutdown. Let me tell you my story about the government shutdown. Well, actually, yes, it actually affected you the most, though, Flash. Like, literally affected you because you work in that realm, right?
It affected me on, like, both sides of the coin. Like, my drill last weekend got canceled, which worked out because I had a really bad stomach virus, so I wasn't really going anyways. And then, yeah, signed my furlough papers today. First time ever since joining the federal workforce. Let me tell you, whole bunch of bullshit right there.
Okay, so what does that mean when you go on furlough? What does that mean?
Pretty much it's like you're getting laid off, but it's a temporary. It's like you get this piece of paper, which ours had to be FedEx to us. So it was a little weird because I expected somebody just to print off, okay, change the name, Flash, and then Becky Johansson, blah, blah, blah. Change the names and just reprint them out. They deemed some personnel as essential, which a lot of it were department heads, which makes sense. And the rest of us, we were given like a little packet of papers, had like 2 or 3 things. Now, 90% of it didn't apply to our particular situation. A lot of it's like, if you feel this furlough is illegal or unjust or whatever, then you can sue, and then you can use these. It's kind of, but for this particular situation, we really can't do that. But it's just a piece of paper, pretty much saying you're being furloughed this time. You're on you're on a non-active, non-pay basis. Get the fuck out. Paraphrasing, of course, but it honestly was a long thing, pretty much saying you're out until we tell you that to come back in. You had to sign it, understanding that you you receive this information, you understand. Even if you don't sign it, they don't care. They're just like, okay, cool, you don't sign it, who cares? But I had to come in for a grand total of 4 hours, which from my location, which is about 45 minutes away, and I don't drive myself, I commute up to DC. It's kind of a headache. So I had to. Luckily, everyone had to go in. Like majority of people still had to go in for their 4 hours today. Luckily, mine was about 3 hours, and my boss said, "Get the hell out of here," in a nice way, of course. She's great, so we got the hell out of there. And and then I come home and find out today that or I get home and find out that now everyone, as soon as I'm ready to go, okay, it's time for maybe a couple day vacation. They'll get their shit in order, and then we'll move on. Nope, they had to ruin that for me, like everything else they touch. I'm so pissed off.
Well, I mean, it is the government. They pretty, like
God.
you mentioned,
They
they ruin
couldn't give me
everything they
one
touch.
day.
So is this like the quickest fucking shutdown ever?
Okay, well, let me tell you what happened with me. So last night I got a phone call, and it was the night before last. Hey, there's a shutdown. What's your plan for the troops? I was like, easy. I'll come in, and they don't fucking come in. And they're like, well, why are they not coming in? Like, you know what? It's okay for me if I'm driving to go pick up somewhere or get something to eat or go like something like that. It's not a problem for me. But you get that fucking Joe that's working in the HQ. He's a slide flipper or some shit like that. And he can't afford, like, he needs, I don't know what this kid his situation is. I mean, I can't sit there and say, soldier, you can afford it, so you're coming into work every fucking day with no pay after payday. So for all I know, this kid, I could tell him to be coming in, and his paying his fucking gas money or something like that, and that could be like the $40 or something like that he needed to feed his kids or something like that. You know what I mean? I always get that fucking drastic and shit when it comes to that type of thinking. So I get real like what the hell? So I told my bosses, I said, well, here's the reason. And I said the same thing. And I don't fucking have these guys coming in, because what's happened when it finally does shut down and we don't get paid on the first, then what's going to happen? You're going to have some of these kids that are slide flippers and shit that are going to come in here to do whatever, that manage, like the kids in the freaking comm shop or whatever, and they're not going to be able to come into work, or they're going to have to choose whether feeding their fucking family or having to fill up gas, because old ICE, is going to be pissed off and make them do fucking, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. So I fucking stay home. Let me know what's going on. I will go out to your house and I'm ready. I was ready to fucking diversify my bonds and shit, and fucking go take freaking groceries to them. Me and the seniors were like, man, what are we gonna do with fucking so and so and so and so? What happens with so and so? We're gonna have to fucking have fucking food drive for these kids, and I mean, I'm not saying that I got fucking whatever, but I could sell a couple of things or get rid of some shit. If it means fucking feeding a fucking Joe who's got a new baby or something like that, fuck that, dude. I mean, you know how it is. This is where the common sense stuff comes in. You can't come across and say a goddamn memo saying hold the line and say we'll persevere for this when a kid's got no fucking milk to feed his kids or diapers for his fucking baby, or having to pay the extravagant amount of fucking child care that they have to fucking pay for. So that's what I do with my fucking kids. I fucking said. Yeah, we're gonna get that to in a minute, Sean. I told my soldiers, hey, you fucking, this is what's gonna happen. If anything else, I'll make it low impact, because there's a lot of positions that in a multi-star HQ, it's intermixed between uniform GSs and contractors, and so some of the sections where I work, they don't have contractors; it's all GS. So if there's a piece of a process that I'm working, and it gets to the GS, and they're furloughed like they were this morning, then guess what? I'm shit out fucking luck. So I just said, fuck that. Kids ain't fucking coming in. And that's it. And fucking, hang it, looked around and fucking see what was going on in the shop. And then before I could go to fucking lunch and say, hey guys, how you doing? Here's what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. The fucking shutdown was over. It was like literally like right before lunch. It was almost like they did this on purpose. Like, right, they knew that, that this was going to happen. So I mean, it was one of those things where You you don't sit there and fucking. This is not the point to fuck with your soldiers and be Big Sarge. And this is my level of it, mind you. And I have fellow first sergeants that are senior NCOs that I was talking to today, and I was saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said the same fucking thing, dude. I said, "Fucking, are you gonna fucking keep your soldiers?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude. I'm not gonna." This could be the only like $200-300 they could have for the fucking week, and payday's just what next week. And what can you do? I'm not gonna fucking. You're gonna put me in a position. I'm sorry. Despite all the ex-wives that I have and multi fucking child support payments that I have, I do have a conscience that if I brought a soldier in and made him drive in every fucking day, and come to find out this guy's kid's fucking taking MREs out of the goddamn supply cage because I made him come in, and his POV coming back and forth, whatever. You know what I mean? I did tell the Joes. I threw it out in the fucking text. Hey, don't spend your shit in one place. Everything you hold, just fucking lock it down. So, right before lunch, Congress decided to sign a continued resolution to only last for 3 weeks. So up until February 8th, this is going to happen. So, let's return and let's regurgitate and let's go back to how this all started.
Oh my god! Because people are fucking retarded and children.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
and we're not even talking. And I'm not even talking about the people who are upset. I'm not talking about the constituents. I'm talking about Congress. It's like, you're right. That's who I'm referring to.
Before we get started,
no, go ahead.
Because we have a couple things in the chat. I do want to say congratulations to the New England Patriots. Oh, I gagged a little saying that. And the Philadelphia Eagles for making it to the Super Bowl. Patriots game was a lot more enjoyable than the Philadelphia and Vikings game. Jacksonville put up a fight, but the refs were on the Patriots side, so there you go. And Vikings just decided not to play. So hey, Philly played really great. Patriots, they did okay. So we're gonna have a good Super Bowl. So congratulations to you two. Now fuck off, guys. I'm sorry, I'm still salty. My Giants had like the worst year of my life. But we're getting pieces together, so maybe it's going to be better next year. There's always hope. I don't want to be the Browns. Okay, moving on from sports.
You're talking about the New England cheaters?
Oh, my God. And, okay, because the first person to congratulate off a touchdown was a fucking ref. There's something dodgy about it. There's a picture.
It is.
I think it was the second to last touchdown.
Yeah.
Where he literally walked up, like the ref was in the group of...
Yep.
Tapping
he's patting him. Yeah, congratulations, good job. He's like, did you? He goes, no. His words were, "Did you see that? Good job," is what he said.
Mm-hmm. I don't trust, but anyways, so this all started. This was you remember back in December, everyone, back in December, everyone was worried that there's gonna be a government shutdown. I know my family was particularly worried because. Switching jobs because it's not too far between switching from civilian contractor work to federal government work. So they was going to be right in the middle of December, right in prime Christmas buying time. So Congress decided to kick the can a couple weeks down the road, which they did. They were able to do that pretty quickly without any really worry of a shutdown. I think it was like the day of the deadline of the day before or whatever. Well, they kicked the can, and we are where we were on Friday. The big problem was earlier, even before December, when the president decided to rescind DACA, which is the Deferred Action for Children. I forget the last part of the acronym. Pretty much the children of illegal immigrants, kids brought here. They're under this protection where they can't be deported, but they're not citizens. So they can stay here, but they're not citizens. It's a whole muddled mess, and the president pretty much was like, scrap. So, but that doesn't end till March. I want everyone to note that. It doesn't end till March. So we come to this government shutdown where the Republicans are like, we need to do, I'm trying to do my best condescending, I'm rich and live off the bayou. We need a final budget. We can't keep doing this. We need a final budget. And then the Democrats, I'm trying to do my best Schumer, but I can't stick my balls that far up my ass. Pretty much said that there is going to be no deal without DACA. DACA's going to be in this. It sounded too much like John McCain. I apologize, John McCain.
Why are you apologizing?
There's going to be no DACA. There's going to be no budget without DACA. And the Republicans are like, well, no, we're not doing that. And Trump, the president does what he usually does. He sits behind his Twitter, whether it's on his phone or on his computer. I don't know. Maybe he's got a tablet. And was taking barbs like, hell no, Schumer. No, that's not happening. So, long story short, immigration being a big part of it. And it's not just DACA itself. There were talks that the president wanted the wall in the final budget bill, which is supposed to be something around 30 billion. It was like 30 or 70 billion. So if somebody wants to correct me in the comments, I won't be mad at you. But it was a lot of money that they're trying to get over like 7 years to build the wall to the span of the, block off Mexico.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff everyone wants to put in there. And on Friday, the House did try to send a bill to the Senate to kick the can down a couple more weeks. The Senate went hell no. It was something like 51 votes to like 60 something. Pretty much, the Republicans had five Republicans that did not vote for this bill, and all except 2 Democrats voted against the bill. So they didn't have the votes they needed. And you need in the Senate especially for the bill, you need 60 votes, which is kind of funny because for the last weekend, as I'm sick and just trying to, stay away from the light because I felt like I was dying. Everyone's saying, "Oh, the Republicans are at fault because they should be able to vote this." I'm like, they don't have all the seats. They kind of need Democratic help. But the Democrats pretty much, hell no. Midnight came on Friday, and then we had our glorious shutdown. The weekend went by with a lot of bitching and complaining, a lot of grandstanding, which the problem is you see more people like I get all the pop-ups for the lives, MSNBC's live, ABC's live, Fox's live, blah blah blah, and it's 90% of people just taking barb shots at each other. Schumer's up there with his like a goblin looking over his gold type of shit.
Yeah.
Just like it's like well the president is stupid and Mitch McConnell hasn't given fuck these guys. And then you have people like this one chick is like, well, I'm not going to hear the president say anything about service members when he's a 5-time draft dodging deferent from the Vietnam War, which I thought was hilarious. And, it's just back and forth. Mitch McConnell's up there, well, we're going to do our best and we're going to get up there and we're going to,
Fuck Mitch.
it's like Jimmy Stewart on LSD when Mitch McConnell talks. It's just, I don't know how we get this way, but they kept going. I mean, it was a lot of back and forth. 90% of it that we see is all bickering and fighting, and we're all thinking, how is this going to get done?
Well, exactly.
And then everyone was told on Sunday, you have to come in on Monday for 4 hours. Majority of people, I do know some people that were able to telework because they were able to just get like electronics of their paperwork, sign it, and send it back. Which, I mean, I didn't spend money on gas, and I just bought a metro ticket that the government pays for anyway, so it didn't really kill me. But it's 4 hours. I could have just stayed home. But anyways, everyone came in for that, thinking that we even had a talk with my particular head of my organization, and she we talked about what's going to happen. Let us know that our particular org was going to be financed like we were going to get our next paycheck, which took a big weight off our shoulder. And we knew a lot of people were still going to get their paycheck just because where this fell. But we were expecting this not to be a 16-day like in 2013, which was a long one, but we were expecting this to take a little bit longer. Cut till about 1:30 or 12, about 1 o'clock, I think, is when I got the news when I was on the road that the Senate, that Chuck Schumer, the Democratic minority leader in the Senate, announced that him and Mitch McConnell, those snivy little bastards, came together and actually agreed on something, and get this, had nothing to do with DACA, which is a whole different thing. So they were able to vote. It wasn't just we hit the 60 vote mark. Schumer brought a lot of votes. It was like something like 81 to whatever the rest is. Like it was something massive. They only needed 60. They had 81 votes in total, which is great. This afternoon, they were finally able to kick the bill down to the House. The House pretty much is treated like a redheaded stepchild 90% of the time. So they went, you do what you're told, pass this. Well, the Republicans did pass it in the House, and now the bill is waiting to go and be signed by President Donald Trump. I'm sorry, President Trump. Hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow. Please be tomorrow. But yeah, that's where we're standing right now with everything.
Now,
I know. Did I give everyone a good rundown?
that was a
Like,
good
if you had a
rundown.
specific
No, that was a
question,
good rundown because
put them in the comments and I can answer them
Yep.
because I have been considering this is the first time this has greatly affected my pay and my family a lot more. In 2013, they did pass that resolution. It's like, hey, military's going to get paid. So then I stopped caring.
yeah, at that point, even though the government was shut down technically, the continued resolution still allowed for the soldiers to get service members to get paid. You're right.
Which was cool. So
yeah.
I cared a little bit less. But this time I've been and I know we're gonna talk more, and I would definitely want to talk the winners and losers, and I do want to talk some of the bias from the different news outlets, how they're covering this particular and I'm gonna call it victory for the Republicans, and we'll go into more. But it's pretty stark. So as you were, Ice.
Here's the thing. I'm old. I still stick to what it knows. If you ever have a problem with insomnia, watch C-SPAN. If you want to hear the bickering back and forth, hearing old people snore when they're fucking asleep in the chambers or just farting on the mic and laughing and giggling about it, watch C-SPAN. Because then you'll be able to hear and get some of the tidbits back and forth of what's been going on with how they were going back and forth. Now, I'm only going to go by last names, only because I don't care if they're Democrat. I don't care if they're Republican. I just don't care. It's just the fact that I'm just pulling some barbs, like you said, pulling some barbs out of some of the things that raised my eyebrows and shocked me to the glories of blue falconing. Because like I said before, these guys are all lawmakers and lawyers, and just like when you go through a divorce, both lawyers talk. The opposite and the fucking, and your lawyer. So the biggest thing is that there was a senator, McCaskill, said, look, this going back and forth, I totally understand. I ask and present and lay out a continued resolution just to pay the death gratuity and pay for all service members while we are still in discussions with blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, okay, that's normal. That's a normal fucking deal, right? No big deal, right? And then I hear, like you said, Mr. McConnell, object. And I'm thinking that not only did it wake me the fuck up, it brought life to a screeching halt and told my entire house to shut the fuck up. With the advent of technology, I was able to rewind that, and I literally heard him say he objected to McCaskill, whatever the fucking name is, opening a continued resolution to provide the death gratuity and continued pay for service members. No sooner than he objected it, 2 hours later, an Apache crashed. Guess what? Guess what takes effect, or guess what takes or what impacts the death gratuity? The government shutdown, not SGLI, the death gratuity. So right when that fucking happened, no shit, it was almost like, I mean, I don't want to sound like a fucking macabre person, but it was almost like it was as if the shoe couldn't drop any fucking further. An Apache crashed and killed 2 pilots at NTC last night. When they said, when Mitch McConnell, literally a couple hours later, said, I object to this.
Piece of shit.
The main page posted something like this. The main page posted, hey, look, this is what happened. People were going nuts. Okay, let me tell you about the main page, all right? I will say the span of experience in rank equate more than the fucking keyboard rangers that like to throw their little fucking comments about what happened or what is not going to get paid or was going to. The reason why there's individuals on the main page that are on the main page. They're at a certain expertise to where they are able to assist service members, retirees, veterans, and all that. So when someone says that, no, that doesn't cover that, I heard, because this is what's going to get kicked off the fucking main page or get banned when you keep fucking harassing motherfuckers. I heard that this would happen when somebody else did this. No, you didn't fucking hear that. What you fucking heard was that a nonprofit organization paid for that gratuity to assist the families in need. They didn't get the death gratuity. I mean, obviously there was some bureaucratic fucking hoops that they had to go through. So when everyone says, well, we don't know what's going on, at any time our Congress is in session, the first thing that should always be discussed, that should be almost non-negotiable before we even begin any open session, right when that fucking gavel hits, it's almost assumed. It's fucking military pay. It's fucking benefits to the fucking service members, active duty. You know, that's obviously affected by any government shutdown. That shouldn't even be in discussion. That shouldn't even be up for fucking debate. That should, for you to, what blows me the fuck away is for you to sit there and say you're thinking about the interests of the American people, and I'm speaking now as a private citizen, for you to sit there and say that you're thinking of the interests of the American people, how fucking dare you place an objection to a colleague of the opposite party, Mitch McConnell, and say, hey, look, I object to this. While the other person is saying, hey, look, let's get these fuckers paid and we'll discuss everything else. That's all she was saying, in a nutshell. In congressional speak, I guess you'd say. That's all she was trying to convey. All she was trying to convey was the fact that, hey, look, while we're bickering and arguing about this, I want to move to open up this fucking CR so that way we can get this shit rolling and get the death gratuity for anybody. Because she saw the seriousness of it. So good on you. Mitch McConnell, to fucking object because you're seeing some upper level high power fucking play, you're a fuck for that.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. You're a fuck for that. At any fucking time.
It's weird. Service members are the first people anytime something happened, well, think of the soldiers, think of the Marines, think of the Navy. No one really cares about the Coast Guard, but think of the airmen. And then they immediately turn around and do shit like that. Like, hey, we're going to shut down the government, but, hey, I think it's a good idea.
McConnell,
paid since,
yeah.
a lot of them are still
exactly.
not, we can't go, hey, Taliban.
Yeah.
Hey, our government shut down, guys. Take a break.
Exactly.
Well, let's do a rain check.
Yeah,
we'll send red flares. And
exactly. You'll be
all
right.
Go at it again. Just you go and shit. The guys downrange don't get a break. Why not at least make sure that their families get something if they don't make it back? Why not at least make sure that the one thing that we are promised by the recruiters that is mostly true is that we will get paid. That's the one thing. It's like, hey, it's a steady income. Yeah, it really is, as long as you're not stupid. And that's fine because, be smart. Don't get in trouble and get your pay taken away or get like a 30% interest on that Camaro you had to have at a basic training. But it's guaranteed pay twice a month. You're going to get paid a living plus more, a lot more than I thought I was going to that I wasn't going to miss when I became a civilian. But at least make sure those folks get paid. But
first off,
if you're not going to do that, then shut the fuck up about we care about the soldiers. Get out of here.
Exactly. I don't even want to fucking hear him. And what makes me mad is that everybody else and here's another thing too. Everyone else, because again, I watch fucking C-SPAN. I watch the old man. That's old man MMA. You want to see old fuckers argue and get stupid and shit, and then I demand order, order in the house. I demand order. And then, fucking Nancy Pelosi sitting there shaking, going, I don't understand, all this other fucking shit. Watch it on C-SPAN. You'll see some fucking crazy shit. One of my biggest things is that everybody else who was talking before the shutdown were all there talking out of their ass. Ted Cruz, fucking Lindsey Graham, fucking Chuck Schumer, fucking what's that other dick? Dick Durbin, Dickety Dick. Everyone was talking out of their fucking ass when they were talking. This is the first time the president actually kept his fucking mouth shut and said, you know what, this is actually not in my lane. You know why? He's the president. Everyone was getting mad saying, how come the president didn't get involved? Because he's the president. He's not in Congress. So he was kind of letting it back, say, okay, I really got to fucking see what's going on now. Because I really think this was an education for him to see how this goes back and forth. All these fucking outliers, Lindsey Graham, fucking Ted Cruz, fucking Dick Durbin, I'm going to name them all of them, Duckworth, all of them, Republican and Democrat, We're all.
Oh, don't forget Rubio in that one too.
Oh
He's
yeah, I was
a
about to say
conniving
yeah,
little son of a
and
bitch, too.
yeah, and Marco Rubio as well. All of them. We're all talking all this mad shit about what should happen and what couldn't happen on CNN, on Fox. All of it, we're getting their fucking FaceTime. But you notice who was doing most of the talking here? Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer. Not even. I mean, those are the only ones talking. You barely had. They had it so fucking sequestered. They had it so fucking cordoned off. Nobody else was talking. Then as soon as the government shutdown was over, and as soon as the president said, "You fucking lost," finally. No, actually, he didn't say that. What he said was that the Democrats have come to their senses and wanted to talk, which is why I think everyone was like not knowing what to say, because the president has been trying to get something. He even said himself, he wants to get something to the table, and he says he doesn't care who he pisses off. Every single administration from when I was a kid, a fairly long time, all the way up, has always been talking about immigration reform. Everyone wants to talk about comprehensive immigration. You do a quick fix immigration reform, and all of a sudden you have the DACA shit and all this other crap. Hey, no big deal. I'm all about immigration reform. As a son of an immigrant, I'm all for it, but do it right. Don't get the ass. There's a fucking meme out there that you got. Don't get the ass when you get kicked out of fucking Disney World, when you climb over their fucking wall to get in without paying. That's the way it works. That's the way the fucking law is. And as the son of an immigrant, like, I know speaking English until I was fucking old enough to, like, I don't know, be, almost a teenager. Pick your language. I fully say, yeah, motherfuckers need to pay. My family did it. Hey, matter of fact, it was back in the day where immigration used to give you a note. Hey, here's a letter. Your shit's about ready to expire. You better go to this office and register. They even made it accommodating for you. Do you need to learn how to speak English? See, all right, then fucking come on, let's go fucking speak English. We'll fucking teach you. We will help you out. We will help you out, and that's no big deal. It was not an issue. Back in that, and I will get into the Latino mindset, it was okay to respect authority. You provided respect and all that. Now, you got little fuckers going around parading themselves with the Mexican flag around their shits, or whatever fucking country they're from. You're not going to bully this. I am illegal, and they're trying to kick me out. Yeah, motherfucker, because you don't belong here. So I kind of have the liberty of saying this, that, yeah, fucking pay. Get the fucking behind the line.
No, go ahead, Mom.
No, my biggest rant is after, looking at all the different, news pages on Facebook, and people are like, oh, we need term limits on Congress and stuff. And I'm just thinking, we've all had our chance to vote these guys out. And I'm not just saying, like, in the general election, but in the primaries, especially Mitch McConnell. And then I'm from Kentucky, and he represents Kentucky, and I'm just like, this piece of shit should have been out a long time ago, but they keep voting him back in during the primaries, and then my friends and family bitch about it, and I'm just like, fucking vote him out.
Why do you gotta keep voting me back in? Sorry,
right?
I've been watching. Now you're bringing in that Jimmy Stewart side.
Yeah, as I'm saying, because that sounds like. Yeah, I watch them all the time.
Bitching about it. And
I'm
like,
why the fuck?
Vote
Yeah,
them out in the primaries. Pick, you know what I mean? Like, just be done with them.
If you do not like your representation, then get registered to vote. Be more a part of it than just when the two turds are picked at the end of the game and you have to pick between the two. Get involved earlier. There's your WTF message of the day. If you want to be involved, then get involved. Stop bitching about it at the back end, because then you have situations where you don't feel you're represented is because you had to vote for the turd because you didn't get a voice of which turds of your party's turds got to go through. Now, before we get too far off, especially when we're talking more about DACA immigration, I still want to talk about the bill. So first thing first is what we talked about, and a lot of people are calling that the Democratic minority leader, Senator Chuck Schumer, a lot of people are saying that he blinked. The Democrats gave in, and especially since they were very adamant. I mean, adamant's not even a strong enough word. They were like finite. If there's no DACA, there is no budget. There will be no government until then.
Correct, but not only
which is pretty crazy.
No, but not only that. the president had initially said, I don't give a fuck about DACA. Let's reform immigration so there's no need for, everyone keeps forgetting, DACA
There's
is
reports
not
that he
law.
even said, let's do a deal.
Exactly.
Let's go. Let's make a deal.
Exactly. DACA is not law. It is a policy or a program. It is not the fucking law.
It's the whole thing where we don't kick out the kids because it's not their fault they're here, but they are illegal. So it's kind of like we're just doing you a favor by not kicking you out.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, yeah, that'd be like me bringing, that'd be like me fucking bringing Baby Ice to a fucking bank robbery and fucking breaking in and all sorts of shit, and then I get arrested, but you know the bank's got to fucking keep Baby Ice there because you know you don't want to.
He hasn't known anything other than this bank.
He doesn't exactly. Why he's been in this bank for fuck that.
It's funny though because it's kind of crazy that Chuck Schumer, you know, them making this such a big thing that they made a deal to kick the can 3 weeks down the road, so we're still going to deal with this around February 8th, which it's not going to be fun. And will they get like a
shut down?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm expecting, which is not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's funny, though. If you look on CNN, not only do they say President Trump could end the shutdown tonight, wait till tomorrow. They also talk about the winners and losers of the government reopening, in which I'll go over my winners and losers mixed with a little bit of Fox and MSNBC's coverage. Fox, I love it. Team Schumer caves to filibuster as House and Senate approve and to shut down bill heads to Trump's desk. And then another thing underneath says Democrats blinked. I was like, yes. And then MSNBC, you know, they're just
but that's not really. But that's not really
happened.
but that's not really what happened though. I mean, this is not. That's not. I mean, the whole thing is that when you're talking about a concession for a deal for something like this, again, I'm trying to fucking McCaskill.
Oh, and I did forget, and I do apologize. What Chuck Schumer said was, we're kicking the can down the road to February 8th. If we do not have, I believe if there's no DACA talk before that Mitch McConnell is going to bring to the floor DACA, and we're going to discuss it. Like I guess the seems like the deal was, okay, we will just get this, you know, push this can down the road, and we'll find out a budget. But you have to promise us if we do not bring DACA up before this, then you will bring it to the floor, pretty much forcing the Republicans, and we'll see if they, you know, stay to the word, which, you know, I think they kind of have to, that this will be an issue that is brought and debated on, which is honestly what I think the Democrats really want, and a lot of Republicans still want. It's just, we don't care if it goes through, just let's talk about it and fix it. But DACA is a whole other thing. But a lot of people, I mean, Bernie Sanders, I love it because MSNBC is on, you know, while Fox is way on the right, MSNBC is on the left. So much so that they're kind of like Congress passes spending bill to end shutdown. Like they do a very like nonchalant and they move on. But apparently, well, no, we won't talk about that. Let's talk about the winners and losers according to Fox and CNN, and then your awesome PAO here, Flash. A lot of stuff I'm going to be reading off, so bear with me. Let's talk winners first. Hey, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, refused to take a hard and fast promises to Democrats that they would get the vote on DACA on Sunday night. He said that it was his intention to bring up DACA. Democrats blanched, saying he hadn't gone far enough to assure them a vote. On Monday, hours before the vote to reopen the government, McConnell went to the Senate floor again and repeated his intention language. Despite the lack of change in McConnell's position, the Democrats came along, trusting that the majority leader would be good to his word, which he might be, but intending to do something isn't the same thing as doing it. McConnell, ever the savvy negotiator, drew a line and refused to smudge it out, even amid the blame game of the shutdown, and he won. I have to hand to Mitch McConnell. I was interested to see how far this was really going to go, but if he was able to bring along the Democrats and get the vote and at least kick the can to keep us from, you know, staying shut down longer than technically a Monday, because who cares about the weekend? But technically a Monday, that's a pretty good wing for not actually saying. But I promise you this is going to happen.
But when you have Chuck Schumer, And he only said this one time, and then after he saw what was happening with the military slant to it, he shut up.
Because the military
Chuck,
slant always has a little bit of right to it.
Correct,
and
correct. And that's why he touched on it once.
People can't help but like the military.
Of course,
I mean, we're not,
of course.
We're everyone's sons and daughters. We're good people.
Exactly.
So
Chuck Schumer
sometimes as a propaganda piece. And
exactly.
Well, think of the soldiers. Hey, we're not talking about anything that's to do with soldiers. Well, think of the soldiers anyway.
Exactly. So Chuck Schumer had a press conference when this thing first started kicking off, and the first thing he said was the president wanted to do this, the president wanted to do that. And I'm just thinking, okay, I'm listening. Of course, C-SPAN. And then, of course, I fucking about had a heart attack, and if I had to get the defibrillator out when he said the president wanted to extend mental health care benefits for veterans and wanted to ensure that service members were taken off the opioid addiction. But he doesn't care about the immigrants. When he said that, I about lost my fucking shit. That's just the same. Just the same as fucking.
That's ridiculous.
That's the same fucking thing. That's the same fucking thing. The same along. Same. I'm saying him and McConnell both said the same. Pretty much said the same fucking thing. That you'd rather fuck veterans and fuck the military, exactly, and worry about their fucking pay only because of an agenda that you're trying to get. Now, don't get me wrong. It's almost complaining. Don't complain about a bridge that's always getting fucking patched up when we can build a whole new fucking bridge, is what I think the president's trying to say. That's all he wants to do. Hey, let's get this fucking done and over with. Let's get it fucking knocked out. Hey, you individuals that could be affected, I'm sorry it took you 40 fucking years to get your goddamn immigration status squared away. If you are doctors, lawyers, police officers, and all sorts of shit, and you were able to get your fucking degrees and all sorts of crap, you were able to do that, and you had the foresight to do that, I don't want to fucking hear, or pay your bills, I don't want to fucking hear about you saying, well, I've been here for 30 years, and I don't speak this language anymore because I was letting my shit. Do you have a degree? Well, I mean, does it matter? I help the community. Shut the fuck up. You're done.
So correct me if I'm wrong. When there's a shutdown, does Congress still get paid?
Yes. According to the 27th Amendment of the Constitution, they do.
Yes, they do.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up.
And that is fucked up.
I'm glad you brought that up because, in my, I'm a historian. I like history shit. I am part of history. I'm old. So, every once in a while, the Smithsonian knocks on my door and asks if they can draw some blood. And they fucking straight up, the 27th Amendment of the Constitution by law dictates that a member of Congress shall be paid unless it is by a special election and cannot be pulled out. However, it is approved and signed by the president. Why didn't the president say, I'm signing an executive order suspending your pay? He could have done it. He could have done that. Now, of course, they would whine and say, so believe it or not, back in 2013, I think, when this same motherfucking shit was going on, there was an initiative created by a Democrat. I mean, I was like, what the fuck? A Democrat back in 2013. No budget, no pay act is what they created up. They ginned this thing up so that way, if there was no budget ever passed and it did not go to continued resolution, then nobody would get paid. Everybody would fucking get no pay dues, which in a way I'm kind of like, misery loves company. All right, if you're setting everybody on fire, then that's cool. Even if you're setting yourself on fire, then that's cool too. So this was a bill that was introduced by a Democrat back in the day when there was the other government shutdown before we had a continued resolution for the soldiers getting paid. So we were good to go. Well, because of all the filibustering and shit talking and also the crap, they decided to say, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do this shit. I'm gonna do this no pay, no bad. When that fucking happened, everybody turned on the guy who fucking stood it up. Representative Jim Cooper from fucking Tennessee. He was the one that said, this is bullshit. Why are we doing this? Why are we sitting there discussing about why our said the same fucking thing. Why are our service members suffering for something that we can't figure out for ourselves when they're doing this on behalf of us? You should take away the one thing every member of Congress really wants, and that's their paycheck at the end of the month. Quote, you take it away until they get their job done, and you would think that the miraculously bipartisan work to get something done will happen.
You would think.
Now this is Jim Cooper right now.
You would think.
I'm starting to become a Jim Cooper fan. Front desk, get Jim Cooper on the air. Fuck.
So
noted.
Yeah, no, I'm serious, man. What the fuck, dude? Because think about it. He even said if we could show a great number of co-sponsors of leadership that they have no pay attention, then it's no secret that what is not popular with leadership. If they want to be popular with members, in any other job in the world, you don't do your job, you don't get paid. Congress shouldn't be any different. The amount of people that attacked him kept bringing up, every single fucking person kept bringing up, like I said, the 27th fucking, not 25th, 27th Amendment of the Constitution. Like I said before, it was the no law varying compensation of services for senators and representatives shall take effect without election of representatives shall be intervened, approved by the president. So technically, the president could have said, I'm signing an executive order, you fuckers aren't getting paid. And that's just gonna, as much as we wish he would do that, he knows he'd rub a lot of people. He's already got diminishing allies. I mean, he's started off and but look at the proof. Well, look at the handicap when it comes to a lot of people who he was running against are in the Senate for president and still don't like him. No, dude, but think about this though, man.
I wish he would have done that. Though.
No, but
honestly, if you really want to be the guy who's up front and leading and I understand. Like I saw the tweet saying, why was he not the one crafting this deal?
Exactly.
He's not in the Senate.
He's not in the Senate.
But
exactly.
I would have been totally cool with him going, hey, you guys need to start actually getting this shit together. Executive order. You're not getting paid. Just like our military members and our federal workers, because you're a federal worker, whether you like it or not. So you shouldn't get paid either. Now y'all need to start talking. I understand him not being in the mix. I understand him not having his hands in the bread, but it would have been nice for him to be taking that check going, hey, no work, no money. That easy.
No, well, not to mention the fact, again, all he was saying is that this just get this fucking shit done. And then nobody else in the world does a job or not doesn't do a job. They don't get paid. Just you get fired.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole fucking point of it.
I want to run through the rest of these winners real quick because we're getting low on the time thing. So Lindsey Graham, the South Carolina senator, was the leader of the effort to make this deal. His 3-week proposal to reopen the government wound up being the legislation that did the trick. He also emerged as the honest broker. Bullshit. Willing to call out Republicans and Democrats. That's just called being a damn person. In all this, someone who can build a bridge between the two sides within the Senate. Plus, Graham got reelected in 2014, meaning he doesn't have to worry about the possibility of a serious primary fight for working across the aisle in 2020. The 2018 Democrats. There are 10 Democrats up for reelection in 2018 in states that Trump won in 2016, including 5 where Trump won by double digits. That group, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, as well as Senator Heidi Heitkamp from North Dakota, Joe Donnelly of Indiana, and others, led the push to make a deal with McConnell, and they won, which theoretically shields them from possibility of being blamed for the extended government shutdown. And honestly, the Democrats, while they took another loss, I consider the Democrats taking another loss with it, and we'll get into that. Those are the guys. I think those are the guys. The ones they're trying to work are the ones that will help themselves more. Continuing on, moderates. In the wake of the continuing resolution passing, Manchin, I'm going to mess up his name, and Senator Susan Collins, the Maine Republican, held a jubilant news conference touting a new era of bipartisan cooperation within the Senate. Load of shit. But anyways, wishful thinking. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, love that guy's name, a Democrat, in remarks just before the continuing resolution vote, touted how the past few days of deal-making not only was how the Senate should work, but presaged a new age of cooperation. Count me very skeptical, but on this day, moderates got a deal, and they won, and they really did. I mean, bipartisanship is honestly where our government should be.
Correct, but it's not a game of winning and losing, though. That's what people are failing to see. It's not supposed to be a fucking game of, well, he won. It's not. That's the whole meaning of bipartisanship. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called bipartisanship. There's not supposed to be a winner and a loser. There's the give and take of fucking negotiations.
The Americans are supposed to be the winners. The people.
Exactly.
The winners. That's it.
God damn it! Get out of my fucking head, PAO. Fuck. That's exactly what I was gonna say. America's winners.
I got okay. Losers. My favorite part, because there's a lot of this right here. Actually, there's not. It's 3. They've narrowed it down to 3, and Fox did about the same thing. So I'm gonna go off of Fox. Chuck Schumer, the biggest loser of today.
Okay,
The New
I
York
agree.
Democrat held a hard line on what his party needed to hear from Republicans in order to sign on to the continuing resolution that would reopen the government for much of the weekend. On Saturday night, Schumer said this to his colleague Manu Raju: "We need a good bipartisan agreement that allows us to get a good defense number, get a good non-defense number, get a vote on the Dreamers bill, and get that done and deal with the disasters too. There's a lot to do, and our Republican colleagues have sent us a continuing resolution that doesn't do the job." Schumer also said he could not support a 3-week continuing resolution, and yet Schumer signed onto a 3-week continuing resolution. Funny. Deal without anything beyond McConnell's assurance that DACA will be brought up with a level playing field. So that's he's taking a lot. I mean, Mitch McConnell could just go totally like evil empire and be like, "Wow, fuck you."
Yeah, but he's been a dick the whole
well,
They
time.
have the numbers.
He's been a dick the
I
whole
wonder,
time.
like, if
All of
their
them have been there.
constituents really started bitching at them, especially the government employees and military, be like, "Look, you're expecting us to go without pay." I mean, did that persuade Schumer or not? I don't know.
And it's hard to tell. Maybe he thought that he was getting enough from Mitch McConnell. We don't know exactly what was said in these meetings. We don't know if there's more to the pie than just the crust
Yeah.
we're seeing. And so I think that's the biggest mystery
like
with
that.
Chuck Schumer. But I'm going to tell you, it makes him look really weak right now, and it makes him look really bad that they were able to do a continuing resolution without any DACA stuff. That means they can push this down the line, and they could continue to do this, honestly.
But the reason why this, I think, happened again was because the president probably fucking said, "I'm tired of patching up the bridge. I want to build the fucking bridge." So I think what's happening is that
it's going to be interesting to see how these next 3 weeks.
Correct. And I want to see
play out.
and I want to see what bill is going to be introduced and who's going to be the sponsor of it. That's my biggest thing. And you had that little fucker Gutierrez. This is a disrespect to my people, and my people are saying this, and my people, my people. Hey, motherfucker, you're American. Those are your people, Americans. Not fucking worrying about Mexicans and everybody else.
Yes, exactly.
I'm talking about Mexican nationals. I'm not talking about anybody of Mexican descent, because according to statistics and the U.S. Census Bureau, Mexicans are now white.
Kaz kind of really brought up a good point. The reason why DACA was an executive order and not law is because Democrats knew that they could not get the votes.
They could not get the board. No, but they couldn't get it because it was so reckless. Like I said, I keep going back to patching the bridge that needs to be rebuilt.
Well, yes.
When somebody's waiting for, and that's what it is. And I think Trump was the fucking 18-wheeler going down there like goddamn Pet Cemetery. I've already hit Cage crossing the fucking street. You know what I mean? That's when he was fucking. Trump was like, "I'm just driving this huge truck, rah rah rah," and then fucking there's Mitch McConnell in his cab, fucking going, "Go faster, go faster," and that's it. That's what he's fucking doing, and nobody's fucking taking care of the situation in itself.
It's funny how like I said, the next 3 weeks are gonna be very interesting, because this list I'm kind of reading off and giving some of my own interpretations of it, as a part journalist as I like to be. We could also see Chuck Schumer jump to flip-flop, because by taking this out and actually having a real bipartisan, we can only hope, but a real discussion about this, and not just make an executive order where this is, but actually make it like, hey, if you're a particular X, Y, and Z, this is what's going to happen by law. Chuck Schumer, by doing this, not only could, help end the shutdown, but could actually be hailed as a hero for taking the loss at the front end, but getting the big win at the back end. And like I said, we're going to have to wait until we do until 3 weeks when we have the next potential shutdown and everything. So going on the next on the list of current, like we just said, this is going off right now. This is if everything just doesn't go right for Democrats. Hitting number 2 on the loser side is the 2020 Democrats, the likes of Senator Kamala Harris of California, Cory Booker of New Jersey, Kristen Gillibrand of New York, Bernie Sanders of Vermont, and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, the evil witch, got rolled over by their party's leadership and a group of 2018 Democrats up for re-election in the states Trump won 2016. As the Washington Post Paul Kane noted on Twitter, Harris and Warner were among the two first no votes on the continuing resolution. This isn't the last fight in the battle for control of the direction of the Democratic Party heading into the 2020 election, but it is a fight, and that is one the liberals very much lost. Pretty much they're saying the old guard is kind of losing out. Like the hard line, I mean, you know Bernie Sanders,
exactly.
you know Elizabeth Warren, you even know Cory Booker. They are hardline Democrats of no, we're either not going to work with you. This is the line.
We
right
want
here.
our way. Yeah.
And the
they're very unbending.
the people running for 2018 pretty much went under them and were like fostering bipartisan deal and made them look like the ones not working together. This could be a big shakeup for the Democrats, especially going into 2020, when potentially there could be people running in the primaries against them and could go on the leg of, when they wouldn't work for you, I will.
Yeah.
And then finally, the House. For roughly the billionth time, the lower chamber was cut entirely out of the deal making. The Senate cut the continuing resolution deal, thanks to Lindsey Graham, and then just told the House, essentially, do as you're told and pass this.
Yes.
Being the little brother always isn't much fun. And I do feel bad because I know Paul Ryan's down there like, hey, we sent something first, you fuckers.
Yeah,
but
well, not to mention Paul Ryan's starting to become a little. all of them.
The man who I thought was gonna be on the front running ticket for, if not this, the last election, which at the time I was glad. I thought the field was still way too filled, and I was like, Paul Ryan, I'm glad you're kind of sitting back. But potentially, if Trump didn't run next year, or that if he ran, for the 8 years and the next one, Paul Ryan would be a natural step that for him from House to that. But now he's come, like you said, he's come off like a little like the. You ever watch The Office? There's this guy on there named Gabe.
I'm starting to watch. Yeah, I know who he is.
Tall, skinny. Yep. And he's
now
the conniving weird kid that that sits in the back annex or weird guy sits in the back annex.
Yep.
And Paul Ryan every day turns more and more into him as Mitch McConnell pretty much goes, shut up and do what you're told.
Yeah. No, my daughter tells me that, hey, old man, you need to get with the times and watch this. So I've been watching The Office. So
I love The Office.
I'm still trying to get some of the jokes, but I guess I guess somebody said it'll grow on me. So
I had my wife because I finally weird tangent, but I finally finished The Office for the first time. Watched the series like 8 or 9 times, but I can never get past the 8th season because I don't want it to end. Finally watched the ending, and then it made me so emotional. It was such a great ending that I made my wife watch it. She's only watched a couple episodes, made her cry. Office is a great show. I don't care what anyone says. Anyway, so that's the Fox and CNN analysis of the winners and losers. They pretty much had a good consensus. Fox is a little more like, it's all Democrats. But honestly,
oh my God, don't get me fucked. See, that's the thing though. See, it sways back and forth. Sometimes you would think that Fox would, now that they've had a change up in the majority of the conservative people leave, Bill O'Reilly getting fired and all that crap, and Megyn Kelly being gone and all that, you would think that, and then now their death dealer now is fucking Shepard Smith. You would think that it would start to get more centric, maybe a slant to the right a little bit, maybe a slant to the left a little bit, maybe a little bit of libertarian. I'll tell you who was fucking who was pretty impressive giving an AAR about it was fucking Paul Ryan. Not Paul Ryan, fucking what's his name? The other guy, the doctor. What was his name? Fucking the guy from Kentucky. The guy that got beat the fuck up by somebody and now is like it's not Paul Ryan.
Rand Paul.
Rand Paul, that's who it is. Thank you.
Yeah, he broke a couple ribs and whatnot with a dispute with his neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. we will find the neighbor and bring him to justice.
We're gonna beat his ass. He's got weapons, master.
We're gonna go find him
and
where
whiskey.
he lives. He's been gun running. But the thing is that I think fucking if he were to fucking, he brought up some good points that for Rand Paul was shocked that he brought them up. Just I mean not anything big that's gonna earth fucking shattering, but I was just surprised at the fact that he was finally able to say something and did not sound like a complete fucking tool. Because they're all fucking, I'll be honest with you, this watching everybody capitulate. Now you're seeing, and again, everyone is going back to blaming the president, which is what he gives zero fucks about anyways. So, but anyways, we're gonna take a break. We're fucking over our shits, and we're gonna talk about something else coming up. And then, yeah, we'll continue to talk more Washington shit. So, everyone get some shots, chill out, relax, and then we'll be back. Ciao.
Well, it definitely is all about the visuals, although pretty sure it's illegal.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
That's right. We're back. Bring you back another episode of some coverage about the Walking Snatch. Every year, the Pink Pussy Hat Brigade or divisions of march on the Capitol to discuss their issues. and we laugh at them because of their accoutrements that they wear. Don't tell me about how the reason why you're feeling that you're getting all this misogyny and all this man hate and you're not being treated with respect. You're walking around with looking like pink Klansmen. When you have anatomically correct fucking headgear, I'm not going to take you serious. When you sit there and say that men are pedophiles and only want to chase young women, but you have 8-year-olds walking around saying fuck Trump, fuck this, fuck that, and they're dressed as pussies, and they're cussing worse than a fucking trailer park whore, guess what? I'm not going to take you serious. So, we had the Women's March. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about equality for women. I really am. I mean, it's contrary to popular belief. I marry them equally, and I have no issues. No problem. No issues with the issues of the Me Too military, the Me Too movement. No drama for the mama. I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I don't care for the drama, but I care for what your issue, because it is an issue in the military. It is an issue in society that women generally are not taken seriously when they report sexual assault. Sexual harassment, can kind of get like that because people want to fucking dwell on that shit and didn't like the fact that they had whatever. So I fully support the Me Too movement. No shit. I really support the Me Too military movement. No shit. I really do. However, when you're trying to make a movement look comical, satirical, I'm kind of like watching Am I supposed to be laughing? I'm waiting for a Duffel blog to give me, like, this has been a Duffel blog report. Or I'm waiting for The Onion to say something like that. But no shit, this is why everybody else is looking at the same fucking thing. Now, this movement, for some reason, hasn't spread to Islamic countries like Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. I haven't seen that. There's been no pussy hats running around or anatomically correct
I think they
accoutrements
would probably
like
get
that.
stoned to death if they did.
Well, my point being is that
You don't see them fighting over there. For
I don't
women's
see
rights.
exactly that. Now, don't get me wrong. Seeing some of the movement being fought over women's rights in Iran, fuck yeah, dude. Totally support it. Again, I fucking support that shit. But when your symbol takes away from what your message is trying to put out, I can't take you seriously. I want to. You can't stand up before Congress or talk about passing laws when you're walking around with a fucking vag all over the place and you have an 8-year-old cussing worse than a fucking, sailor next to you, and you think it's funny or you think it's cute. And no one's going to take you. I'm not going to take you seriously because you're going to get shouted out.
I've noticed, you brought that up, being up there, them dressing like this and cussing out. The most women that have more respect, and it kind of goes on the Republican side, are the women because they are classy and they get their point across without having to wear a pussy or having to cuss out someone and stuff like that.
My point on that, my whole point about this stuff is that, look, I'm not saying that women have not been assaulted. I am not saying that there is not sexual harassment happening in the military or sexual assault happening in the military. I want the same thing you want when you get sexually assaulted. I want somebody strung up, 2x4 to the nuts, and then we ask questions, waterboard with gas, hubba hubba hubba, and then we find out the details if this really happened. And then if it's proven to be false, then the same happens to the woman. She's in prison. There's guys who've lost fucking their entire reputation and lives over a misunderstanding or something said. And I'm just telling you said. I'm not talking about any physical touching. Physical touching is a different story. No means no. No means no. Easy. Hey, Ice, I'm not cool with this. All right, cool. That's it. Done. No means no. Hey, Ice, I want you to choke me when we're doing this. Can you put this on fucking paper, please? Triplicate. Sign this right here.
Don't they have like a card now?
Yeah.
That you
put
have
your date of birth. I want it certified.
You sign, I sign, we date, and it's like says,
don't
give this to your lawyer. Don't talk to the MPs. Keep this in your back pocket. And nowadays, it's a joke. It's funny, haha. But nowadays, I'm so glad I'm married. For the 99.9% that I love my wife and she handles my BS. But that 0.01% that I don't want to date anymore because it's like it's like a minefield out there because God forbid, I think we're having a good time and maybe, we're dancing. I grab her butt or something. All of a sudden, I'm going to be
sexual harassment.
I'm
You groped
sexual
me.
assault, and I'm going to be on the front page of a Me Too cover, which I think is very important. But shit like that, detracts from the message, and I don't want to be the detraction. I don't want to be hit up for something that's like, well, she grabbed my butt too, but no one cares about what I did it. And oh my God.
So you know what? I just thought of, like, there's been times when I went to either a liquor store or a gas station to buy, booze, and they've got these special card readers for your driver's license, and they run it through that card reader to be able to tell if it's a fake license or if you're actually, legal to buy it. Maybe, it's kind of pointing to that way. Maybe dudes have to do that because there's been times you see chicks, they say they're 18, 19, but they're 16. And then they get hemmed up for statutory rape.
Oh,
No?
No, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
I don't know. That thought just kinda came to mind.
Just give me
Like,
started.
We all
No.
need to start carrying card readers.
No, as I'm saying, no, not only that, but there are situations where in some areas it's accepted. If you're going to sit there and say that the age of consent is this age, but then have the ass about it, then change the fucking law. If you want to have an issue with passing, you're having drama. Let's put it this way: if you have issues with passing medicinal marijuana in your state, but the legal age of consent is 14 in your state, you need your gut checked. You know what I mean? You need a gut check.
Yeah, I agree.
So there has to be some sort of levity with this shit, and you can't sit there and say, "Oh well, I really think that this is wrong because she was 14." Man, young women were getting passed the fuck up by their fucking parents to older men, left and right.
That's how it used to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it used to be.
Ago?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and, that's what I'm saying. I don't, ICE was, back in the 1940s, ICE, was sitting in a room and he flicked the
Picked his first wife out.
Yeah, exactly. And then and she was very, to today's standards would have been very subservient and all that. Not knowing that she was Rosie the Riveter and shit.
So here's my thing. Like today, it was the Women's March of 2018, and I kind of laughed because the whole government shutdown overshadowed the marches across the country. That's kind of what I picked up, reading articles from Fox and CBS and all the news outlets, and then I kind of read, this year they were protesting how it's quote unquote the Me Too movement. And I support it in a way.
No,
but
it got
here's
added.
The thing.
It got added to that march.
Yes, it did.
It got added
And
to that
what
march
kinda
like last fucking minute.
This march from last year's march is last year's march they were going on, and especially Ashley Judd. She's kind of like, I guess you could say, the princess of the fucking walking snatch. And she's going up there how we will not tolerate this, how X, Y, and Z grab her by the pussy. And she's like, I'm a nasty woman. So here, when did the whole Weinstein thing come out? November, December?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So here she is on fucking TV talking about how Weinsteined her. And it went on for years. And the thing is I'm just like, you knew about this. You could have stopped it. But several months ago, you were protesting against Trump, and you're saying you're a nasty woman, but this is now not okay. And you didn't, you know what I mean? Like, she did not stop it, and she let it
that's what I'm saying.
continue.
None of them stopped it. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's compounded.
No,
everyone's compounding.
Like, this whole,
everyone's
it's kind of invalid.
No. They're adding to an argument. I don't even know what they were supposed to be marching for. I thought it was just another pussy hat fucking march because no one was saying what it was for. I thought it was.
Like,
I thought the Me.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. No, but last year the Me Too movement wasn't a Me Too movement. Last year it was whatever the fuck it is. It was because of Trump.
Trump was in office.
Yeah, exactly. They were screaming in the fucking streets and saying that Trump was in office, and then Trump was this and this, Trump's that. That's what last year's thing was. So the Weinstein thing never fucking happened. So to have another issue like that, that's a good question. How come if we're all about freedom, why do we have a freedom caucus? So my whole fucking thing is that they're it's almost like they're stacking their shit on something that is really starting to get fucking old. Because now
it is.
I'm not gonna
old.
take you seriously and want to discuss anything. What is the issue? Well, the fact that the women, okay, well, this administration has a lot more women on their staff, to include a lot of the DOD, Department of State, have a lot more women on that staff, ever more than before, to include political appointee ambassadorships and all that. Next. Well,
and you know what?
We don't like the way. We don't like the way. We don't like the way.
Paid less.
No, but we don't like the way.
Every job that I've had,
no, fuck
I
that.
was never paid less than a man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Fuck that. There is no such thing. If you earned your fucking pay, you don't get your fucking pay because you did your best. You get your fucking pay because you are the best.
Exactly.
There's no fucking such thing as this. Oh, it's inequality. Well, can you here in my line of work, filming, graphics, and stuff like that, and strategic communication is important. So can you do this? Well, no. Well, then why the fuck am I going to pay you this much then? I'm not going to give you the fucking job if you can't do this shit.
Or they get pregnant, they have a kid, they leave the workforce for like 2 or 3 years, they come back, and their male counterpart has been working those 2 and 3 years, but they want the same fucking pay as that guy.
Well,
see, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
no.
It
But
doesn't
that's
work that way.
No, that's not the point. The point is that, well, just like breathing, pregnancy is a natural part of the human body. So you can't. So
is that how it works? I missed that day.
I was about to say you talk to your old lady and have her explain the birds and the bees to you, Flash.
I mean,
but my biggest thing is that, again, the labor, child labor, and all this other stuff, having a kid, it's natural, just as natural as the guy that wanted to get the woman pregnant. It's natural for a woman to have a baby when she gets pregnant. So she should not lose her status of where she is at in pay. I don't think so, because when she showed up there, she was fucking all this, whatever. Somebody at work, or she was already married, knocked her up. So why should the guy that knocked her up be the one that's gonna fucking not get paid? And as a matter of fact, the Army, if you knock up a chick in the Army, you get paternity leave. 10 days, paternity leave.
I remember getting my 2 weeks, and I had a great commander who, because it was going to start like the day of a 4-day, he literally came up to me in the hospital and was like, look, after the 4-day, come and sign on and leave. Oh my God, I got an extra 4 days on top of 5 technically because that day. Oh, that commander was awesome. I still think he's like one of my favorite commanders that I've ever had. But that was like the coolest shit ever, because I had a PAO at the time who, she was this she was trying to get me to come in the day my son was born. Like, she was like, if your son has been born by 9 o'clock, you're coming into work. And I remember telling my NCOIC, do you want to handle this or do you want me to? Because if I handle it, there's shit's going to get thrown around. Like, this closest I ever wanted to hit an officer, just off of non-safety or security reasons, but like horribleness. And that commander pretty much was like, don't listen to that. Don't listen to your officer. This is what you're going to do. So, I just want to shout out to the person I can't say because I might give away a lot of things. But, hey, I am going to say, so I agree with you, Mom. I do feel that this shutdown took a lot away from the actual the marches, because they're kind of like, hey, they're here, but everyone wanted to talk about the shutdown, how it's going to affect, all the talking points. And I think a lot of the messages that usually get out, or that got out last time, didn't. There was a couple people that were on the ground reporting, and they were talking to people on the ground, and they were saying, is this more of a anti-Trump rally, or is this more a women's rights rally? And it was funny because a couple people were like, it's actually a little of both. There, a couple people were like, it's about 50-50. Like, the message is changed, thanks to all the Weinstein and like all these spacey, like all the perverts of Hollywood. Yeah, all the people who've been doing that. Because of that, it has this movement has gone from, we're going to make it all about Trump and more towards women's rights and women's being touched and fondled by nasty men. My third thing is my favorite, my favorite speech or person who was up there was Scarlett Johansson. Not only do I think she's foxy as hell, and she plays one of my favorite Marvel characters, but she came out and was like, because one of the latest people is James Franco to be hit with all these allegations. She called him out, and I guess she had given him some pin. I'm assuming it's something like a Me Too pin or something like that. She called him out on his skeeviness and was like, "I want my pin back." That was like one of the coolest things out of this whole women's march was the fact that at least she called him out straight up and was like, "Hey, I didn't realize you were this scurvy perv. Give me back my pin. You do not belong to this organization. How are you going to say I support women's rights and I support women this and women shouldn't have to deal with that, and then you're one of the people doing it?" Scarlett Johansson, big shout out to you for at least calling out bullshit. More people should have done that. Ashley Judd should have done that from the beginning. All the people should have done that from the beginning.
Ashley
but at least
Judd should have done that like fucking 20 years ago.
But at least people are starting to do it now, especially when people know about it. And I kind of can't get too mad about that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's I don't want to.
So what kind of disappointed me today about the Women's March is if they're trying to empower women and stuff, there's powerful women in the military and the government. Like, why were they not speaking up how it's shitty that there's this government shutdown and those women are not getting paid? Do you see my point there? Like, they should have spoke out about that and not. I mean, I get the whole Me Too movement and I agree with it in a way, but the
awareness I agree with. I totally agree with the awareness.
I
agree with. But weren't walking around with fucking fucking pink hats on all the fucking time to do this. No.
Pussy costumes.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't care. I don't care, and I'll be honest with you. I don't care what your sexual preference is either. If you're talking about the Me Too movement and you're a dude and you're fucking been assaulted, fuck yeah, dude. That needs to be brought up.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. So if it's brought up into something like that, then it's fine. Again, the awareness, I'm fucking totally hip to. The fucking going outlandish and screaming at everybody and making yourself look worse and then wondering why guys don't take you seriously and then guys don't. Because now, being a guy sucks right now. Being a guy just sucks right now. Because if you don't look at a certain way, then you're not appreciating a fucking woman the way it is. If you don't look at a woman a certain way and you find out it's a guy, then you're fucking homophobic. If you're looking at a woman a certain way or you just speak to someone, don't talk to me like that because don't call me ma'am.
Door open for
that's what I'm saying.
You're not rude.
That's what I'm saying. That right there, fucking done with that shit.
Do you remember the actress from Girls? She's
Lena Dunham.
Amy Donlan or some crap
Lena
like that.
Lena Dunham.
She went to an award show. I think it was last year, not 2017, but 2016. She went to an award show. She's the person who admitted in a book that she sexually assaulted her own sister. She actually came on Twitter and was like, Odell Beckham Jr., the wide receiver for the New York Giants. He's awesome. But pretty much was like, wrote on Twitter that he was looking at me like I'm dog, like I'm nothing, blah, blah, blah. Like literally like putting words in his mouth saying he looked at me like I was dog shit. Even though Odell Beckham Jr. didn't say anything to her or even really notice her, but because he didn't notice her and like come up and adoring fan, she pretty much called him out saying that he thought that she was dog shit, which was the only awesome part of that whole thing was the fact that she got hammered so badly on social media because, I mean, but that's the way it is being a guy right now is that, even when we don't do anything, including Odell Beckham Jr., who I'm pretty sure can get any girl he really wants to. He's not a bad-looking cat. But because he didn't do anything, she still tried to hang him out to dry because she felt that he wasn't paying attention to her on purpose. And it's that point where I think the Me Too movement is a great thing. I think it's long overdue, and I believe that it's, the Me Too military, that peeves me off worse than anything else. In the Hollywood, I hate some of my favorite stars or horrible human beings outside the silver screen. But then there's things like that just take away, that make it harder for everyone to get behind, because you're not treating it like you should. You're using it as opportunity to be like, well, he doesn't think I'm hot, so he's a horrible person. It doesn't work like that. And that's my only issue, my real issue with the Me Too movement, not the Women's March, because I think that originally was a crock of shit. Ashley Judd and her friends are all pissed off that they didn't get their way and Hillary Clinton didn't win. But the actual Me Too movement, which I think is actually starting to take hold of these women marches, and there was women marches not only in D.C., but there was many in a lot of big cities. The Me Too part has been taking over more than the anti-Trump part. And I hope that continues. But we also have to remember that, ladies, just because, there are guys out there that are skeevy, nasty people, about the majority of us aren't like that. And when you come up and, lay false claims, or even say shit like that actress did, and say that Odell Beckham, you looked at me like I was dog shit, you're bringing more people away from your cause and making you look more obsolete, and like you're less credible. That's the biggest thing, is you're less credible when you put shit out like that. When you make because how does change happen? Change does not happen by the minority changing. The minority needs to make the majority change. That's how it happened with the civil rights. That's how it's happened with everything. The majority has to be the one that changed. And when the majority are men, you can't ostracize them when everyone's like, oh, men this, men that. You need to be bringing men into the fold.
There was one thing that you brought up, and it's been brought up before by ICE. And I guess they kind of did a little experiment there. I remember him talking about it. Like, you have a good looking guy and a guy that's like average, not so good looking. And like each guy, kind of just, and then I've seen it happen before, like in the real world. They hit on a chick, a chick's like, with the good looking guy, she's like all over him and stuff like that. And then the guy that's not up to her standard, she's like, ew. And then it's like, oh, sexual harassment.
That's right. It's only sexual harassment when you're ugly.
See?
Yeah, I think they did a study or something where women, and if I remember right, and I wish I could cite the study to make this this conversation more credible in my point, but I believe there was a study where women pretty much admitted they're more. Oh no, it wasn't a study. I know what it was. I have an actress friend of mine, or not an actress, a comedian friend of mine in L.A. And she posted something on her Facebook. Why did I say a study? I'm sorry. At least I corrected myself. She posted something on Facebook, and it was interesting.
You're not being
because
graded
she
here,
said, are you more willing to have a guy pretty much say or do more skeevier things if they're hot? And the weird thing was, the majority of the females, and this is, she's out in LA, which, LA is LA. A lot of them were okay with it if he was hot. Like they're no problem. Like it was more, and like some were like, no, not at all. Which, hey, it should be that across the board. If me as a C can't, can do get in trouble for things that an A can't, then that's BS, and you should make it straight across the board if you want equality.
See,
but
and
there was women out there that were saying, no, if he's hot, I'm more willing to, let things go.
And that's fucked up, because like I'm straight across the board. I don't care if you're fucking what's his name from Magic Mike.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Channing Tatum.
Whatever. If Matthew McConaughey said the same thing I'd say to you, and women would go fucking nuts as opposed to my ugly ass. I'm just telling you right fucking now. They'd be.
A different woman.
Go
I don't
nuts.
know. Like,
I'm just saying,
like,
it'd
say
fucking go
Matthew
nuts.
McConaughey and you sent me a dick pic, and I'll be like, what the
No,
fuck?
no. Matthew McConaughey's slick. He doesn't do shit like that. He's like, all right. And next thing you know, women are like, and fucking women are fucking dropping drawers and shit.
He makes you drink that wild turkey.
Yeah,
first.
and then, exactly. In his Lincoln. So if I fucking say something like that, all right, get the fuck out of here, old man. Get the fuck out. What the fuck are you doing? Ew, sexual harassment. Why are you signing me too? What's the difference? You know what I mean? This should not be that way. So you be careful with that shit. I'm saying, ladies, you need to be careful with that shit. You need to be expressive in your intent when it comes to those type of relations and significations, because that you what could be. And don't get me wrong. Being in the military, there are found out there's certain ways you could treat a woman that would consider be weak to a woman, and there are some ways that you could treat a woman that would be considered overburdened just by just by where they're from. You could be seen as a complete fucking dickhead or a goddamn saint in some areas, just by the way, in different cultural areas. Believe it or not, because we do have our own separate cultures in the U.S. So how I treat a woman in one area could be totally different in a woman in another area, just by my reactions to whatever, or me making a comment or whatever. That's right, Pooks. I hear you, man. I'm hearing you, man. I'm part of the Ugly Duck Club too. I know, man. I know. I'm right there, bro. So yeah,
I
exactly.
don't understand you guys. I'm hot as hell, so I shouldn't have a problem.
That's right, Mikey. Or
I
that,
say that as my wife
yeah, that dude for the
worst
Notebook.
week ever.
Yeah, that Nicholas Sparks. Yeah, that dude for the Notebook. Exactly. Women lose their shit.
Oh, fuck Nicholas Sparks and his books and his movies.
You know-
I'm like, that is the cheesy ass shit ever.
But, oh, what are you talking about? That was the women's barometer of how men should be.
Oh my god.
Until
Those
he-
women
Tell
are
me what you
fucking
want.
clueless.
Yeah, until he fucking got divorced, then all of a sudden now he's fucking man whoring left and right.
Okay, ladies. You know, if you want to keep your man, I don't know how to be I don't want to say be submissive.
Just have sex with
but,
me and I'll be good to go.
Oh my god.
I don't know how to explain it. Just
I have low
make them
standards. My wife
happy.
knows I'm an easy person.
Don't expect them to be all romantic like fucking Nicholas Sparks. That shit ain't happening.
Oh man. My biggest.
I didn't mention at the beginning, just in case you're for people playing at home. Donald Trump did sign the continuing resolution
So you're
bill
going to work
today.
Today, yeah.
So all federal workers are going back to work. Yay!
Yay.
Including myself going to work. So happy.
You guys had a snow day practically.
Not if you had to go in. I mean, it was like a circle jerk. It's like you walked in, everyone's like, I had some good coworkers. One of them brought donuts. She's gonna be leaving our office soon, which is kind of sad. But she brought donuts. She's like, well, if everyone's gonna be so salty, I might as well bring some sugar in here. And I was like, my favorite person. And my boss, we had a conversation about participation trophies and millennials. And apparently, according to my particular age, I'm considered like a moonlight millennial. Like I'm on the older side of the millennial spectrum, which is a crying shame, but whatever. So we were talking about participation trophies and stuff like that. And she actually got me and my two coworkers our own participation trophy. It says Flash, my favorite employee, and has a big gold star and everything. It is the coolest, funniest thing I've ever received from a boss.
I mean, did
And
you
then
put
that
it
was it. And then I got to leave then she was like, hey, I don't need you to stay here for 4 hours. Go home. So I actually, from my office to the Pentagon, it was about 3.5 mile walk, and I decided to walk it today because it was decently weathered outside. But other than that, I could have just stayed home. I could have just stayed home. That would have been okay.
I was wondering why they could not have emailed and faxed you those papers. To
Well, I
sign?
know
No,
many.
'cause they
I
have
know
to
many
say-
organizations like I know our head of the organization wanted to have a employee meeting. They've only been in charge for not very long time right now, so they kind of wanted to have. This is only our second employee meeting since they were finally confirmed by the Senate, which took forever. But I guess it's better to have face to face and be square with your people than not. So I was okay with it. I like to think on the brighter side and just okay, let's just go and make this happen. And it wasn't the worst. Commuting was fine, and commuting back was fine, and everything worked out like I was hoping it would. But would have been easier just to send me the papers and send them back. Yes, but as a new federal employee, it was easier for me to get answers from the people that have been doing this for 23, 24 years in the same organization, which is pretty cool, to be able to tell me, hey, this is what's going to happen. They should retroactive back pay us. We do have I wouldn't have known we would have our paycheck was coming in regardless for the next pay cycle, which was a kind of a weight off my shoulder. So, it has its merits, maybe not the best thing, but not the worst.
I fucked off today.
Not a shocker. Well, I did too.
I shammed. No, I didn't
I
sham.
played
I shouldn't
Diner
say sham.
Dash on my phone and was on Facebook talking to you
I
guys.
tried.
That was my day.
I actually was trying to be productive. and actually was trying to do some stuff. But there's just some things that I can't do without civilian help. So they came in, they signed their papers, and then I would just actually was moving some stuff along, catching up on some emails, and then that was it. Just to make sure that you know what I mean, because now all of a sudden a lot of work's gonna happen. You know how it is. They take a day off, people's gonna think, whoa, because we had the work follow, and it was only a fucking it was only a day, guys, relax. It was one day with no pay for them. But
it's going to take me 3 days to recuperate and actually get back on track now. The government screwed me.
Well, my point being is that it shouldn't have gotten to the way it should have gotten. If they should not have said the word shutdown, at least until they had a no shit. There was no possible way anybody was betting. And I'm actually getting tired of hearing them fucking shut down. When fucking police officers and fucking first responders, when they're having issues with their boss, or there's a policy going on in their organization, they don't stop fucking going out and saying, the organizations say, okay, we're gonna stop paying you, now go do your calls. Don't place them in that predicament. Just like with us, don't place us in that predicament. They should have been kept this low key. The word shutdown should never have been discussed at all until they said, because now I do know that passing a budget is more important than doing continued resolutions. Because here's what the way I see it. Hey, all that fucking money that we've now stopped giving aid to all those countries that don't appreciate us, like, I don't know, Palestinians, India, Pakistan, those countries that we're talking about fucking removing money from.
I thought we stopped Palestine's aid.
We did. I'm just saying, but that money right there could have been kicked into this. That could have been kicked. See, there you go. I just helped solve the budget right there. There's money that would for the Palestinian Authority. We didn't take it.
I just had this wild idea about fixing the budget and the debt. So while Congress is having this whole thing about the quote unquote shutdown, give them each a pair of boxing gloves, put it on pay-per-view, and they have to box each other out.
It's not gonna happen.
I'll pay for it, and that'll help raise money.
No, fucking
exactly.
No, it won't work. Fucking, I don't want to see a bunch of old people shitting on themselves.
That would be hilarious.
Like you saw in that one MMA match where that guy had the shits and he was fucking blasting ass all over that one guy, and then the referee,
sounds like a defensive practice.
The referee, the guy
he starts to grapple with me, I'm just gonna shit on him.
Exactly, that's exactly what happened. But he was no blasting no fucking trouser chili. He was fucking spewing. So, but anyways, my point being is that fucking you don't put us in a situation like that where a shutdown has to fucking happen. Hey, you don't like the way things are going on, and you're fucking tired of chastising if you're a territory, then guess what? Puerto Rico, give us our fucking money back.
Oh shit!
You're not using it. You're fucking hoarding it. You're fucking hoarding resources, and you're hoarding. I'm talking about the government. Like I said, I feel sorry for the people of Puerto Rico. I do, because of the fucking the
I am glad they finally got power.
Yeah, they finally got power. But what I'm saying,
would
they got their power.
Puerto Rico classify as a shithole?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a territory. It's not a shithole country. You can't see. It's not a country.
I'm not saying country. I just said shithole. Kind of like Fort Polk is a shithole.
Well, we discovered that it was a shithole. We discovered we were discovering that it is a shithole. That not only that they have some shit that predates the fucking 80s when it comes to their infrastructure, but all the money that they were hoarding, all that money. And here's what pisses me off: FEMA made everybody sign non-disclosure statements that supported it because they were realizing what the Puerto Rican government, or the civil authorities, what they call it, immediately gave themselves $1 million bonuses, 200% raises, and all this other shit, and hoarding fucking food stuff and gear and all that. And because specific unions would not allow individuals to drive their shits out of these fucking warehouses, there were just piles upon piles of aid. We talked about this before. So if you don't like it,
I don't mean to talk over you, but
but you're doing it. But go ahead.
Oh.
But she's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mean to talk over you, but I'm gonna talk over you. Go ahead.
No, but with the piles, shit that would expire, like food that would expire, was just being tossed in a dumpster.
Yeah, that wasn't a dumpster. That wasn't expired. That was a guy in the back of a stake bed truck that was saying it was a dumpster, and it wasn't. I know what you're talking about that video of that guy saying, hey, this is bad. This food could be used. This is spoiled food. Those are humanitarian daily rations and MREs, and he was rifling through the back of a fucking steak bed fucking truck. Next.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you for clarifying that.
So my point being is that if you don't like what this president is doing for you, give the fucking money back. If you want to disrespect our country, give the fucking money back. Right there, you just solved the fucking budget. Everyone's talking about, well, you should be involved in some of these deals. I don't get why is it. And this what it is that you're cutting off all the purse strings of individuals that have been corrupted throughout all these fucking years, throughout all these administrations. The other reason why some of these motherfuckers are in fucking office for 20, 30, fucking 40 years? Because they've been fucking getting kickbacks. There's lobbyists, there's corporations, there's businesses, there's manufacturing, there's the defense contracting stuff, there's fucking all this other shit. The military-industrial complex that everybody talks about. And why do you think certain fucking states have had fuckers living as a congressperson there in office for such a fucking long time and have had specific plants, defense contracting places in their fucking states for so fucking long? Because they've been lining their fucking pockets and lining their fucking campaigns to fucking sit there and doing that shit right there. No, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not.
He's prettier, actually.
Yeah. No, yeah, Red Leg is prettier. There's an app for that. Anyways, my point being is that
It's called Grindr.
Whatever, dude. The fact that you'd even know what app it is to go find that type of stuff is funny. So my point being is, which I'm not judging, it's okay to do that. Is that if you don't fucking like what the U.S. is doing, if you don't like what the U.S. is doing for you, then don't fucking ask for its help. This whole thing with the immigration mess and all that stuff could have been fucking easily avoided. What's wrong with having to find out? When you end up getting down to it, it ends up being motherfuckers just wanting a free ride. Not everybody, but there are some individuals like, what? All I have to do is pay the fucking money and get the fuck in, and you'll help me out to do this, and you're telling me that I'm not a convicted felon, that I don't have to do this, I don't do that. That's all you want me to fucking do? That's what they want to fucking hear. Because right now it's so confusing. They're just looking down and saying, I crossed the border. You don't know what to do to me. I just pay your bill. There you go.
You know what's sad, though, is by the time illegal immigrants pay a coyote to come across the border, it would have cost them just about the same to do it legally.
That's what I'm saying. It would cost that
But it
amount.
does take them a lot less time, and I think that's the biggest problem. Is it? Yes, you're very right. I think it'd probably be about the same and less dangerous. But then the problem is, our immigration system is so jacked up that it could take years of doing that, and then you don't know what happens those years. So I mean, I guess I'm compassionate and understand the reason for coming to the United States. We're pretty awesome. I mean, we have our problems and our faults, and not everything is rainbows and sunshine unless you're in California, and then that's all they smoke and shit. But I mean, we're a pretty banging country compared to like 90% of the countries out there. So we're doing pretty good. But it does suck that, I guess, do I wait 5 years to get into this country, or do I just hop the border and then risk it from there? Because what's going to happen? I'm going to have Democrats fight for me because they want my vote, and I can stay as long as I do X, Y, and Z. So I understand our immigration system needs an overhaul, and maybe DACA will be the first start in adjusting how we look at immigration, how we bring people in. I'm all for bringing people in to join our country. Be a part of us, but be U.S. citizens, not Mexican citizens. I mean, I'm second generation German. I don't ever claim that I don't say that I'm a German citizen. Even my sister, who was born in Germany, says she's an American. She's just of German nationality, even though our family is German, which is kind of cool. But you have to be a part. This is the team. You don't play for the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl saying that, but I'm a Eagle. No, you're a Patriot. Go win a Super Bowl. Be a part of the team.
No, because you're talking about. There you go. There you go. The NFL is a perfect example of a fixed system because the Patriots are going to the fucking Super Bowl. You're right.
Fuck those guys.
You know what's going to happen?
But I will say though, Tom Brady, as much as I hate his guts,
he's not playing.
The dude is banging. Like, I hate him so much, but that man, for being as old as he is, I mean, he still is throwing bombs. It's scary.
I'm afraid that, this Super Bowl is going to be like last year's with the Falcons and the Patriots. It's going to be the same thing with the Eagles and Patriots.
I hope the Eagles sack the fuck out of fucking Brady. I hope.
I mean, I do. I hope so. I mean, that's
like a truck.
my whole fucking.
Like a truck. I want to see it like
Yeah.
a truck. I want to see him get. I'm sorry. You watched football to fucking watch guys get fucking trucked like that. You're supposed to. That's the whole idea. Everyone's talking about, well, that hit to Gronkowski. Oh, so you're saying that
I
it hit
injured
to
my
his
thumb.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the fucking Gronkowski they were like saying, oh, well, he was gonna get injured. Well, look, we're looking at the hit that was done against him. He was going to his knees. So you want him to go crushing in his knees? He had to have stood up to get to do that hit. Otherwise, he would have fucking blasted him in his fucking leg. Which, if you've never had a fucking leg injury, I'd rather get hit in the chest and get knocked the fuck down and get my wig, my bell rung a little bit than fucking have my knees fucking destroyed. Was that fucking Joe Theismann? Yeah, remember that?
Oh, by
don't
Lawrence
know.
Taylor.
Yeah, remember that fucking injury?
Oh, that's still one of the worst hits.
Yeah.
And like, as a Giants fan, I love Lawrence Taylor. Like, I wish we had more people like him. That hit makes me hurt to my core. Like, no man should ever have to be hurt like that. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine being I couldn't even imagine being like on the field.
No,
cheering
I
it
don't.
live.
I don't. Not to me. I want to see. Yeah, but to me, I want to see a quarterback get sacked because it's a pride thing for a quarterback to get sacked, and if their offensive line is not protecting him, that is what ruins the reputation of the quarterback. Because he has the only thing that's protecting Brady is his fucking guys protecting him in the hole. That's the only fucking thing that's protect. They have a good offensive line to protect him. If he was, I tell you what, if he had anybody else on the fucking line with him, he'd get fucking sacked. He wouldn't be a great fucking, you know what I mean? They just, again, best money could buy. Knicks suck, Mets suck, Yankees suck. Anyways, so.
Well, I mean, when both times the Giants went to the Super Bowl, it wasn't because Eli is a super amazing all-star A-plus quarter. I mean, I love Eli, but he's not a super A-plus quarterback. He had a great offensive line that made it so because he's not a mobile quarterback, did not have to move. Tom Brady has the same thing. He can sit in that pocket for 5 to 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. There's been times where he's literally sitting back there waiting to throw to somebody. And I'm just like, how are you giving him this much time?
Yeah.
Like, you barely get, and then when they
Exactly.
finally get sacked, I'm like, oh, thank God you got to him eventually.
Yeah, finally,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Third string guy.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Is like, how could you sit there on their defense? Again. Anyways, we have to take a break. Fucking, I'm getting everybody beating me up saying, "Don't leave me." So, we'll be right back. It's already top of the hour, third segment. Still talking shit about the government. Glad nobody.
It's the government showdown today.
It's a government showdown, because we don't slow down for
You might have
shit.
turned it back on, but it doesn't mean you're going to get away with it.
And doesn't mean you're working either. So we'll be right back.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow, 'cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you turn me on. So will you come and breathe with me? Think I wanna live tomorrow, but I don't be with me. Think I wanna live tomorrow, doesn't matter time, and I'm out of my mind. I don't care what you do, I don't care what you need, I don't care around my heart, just instead of watching bleed. I don't wish upon a star, 'cause I don't care who you are, doesn't matter time, and I'm out of my mind. You can't save me if I can't save me, and you won't follow if I keep falling in, and you won't listen to what I'm saying, 'cause I'm so broke.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
We used to be so strong, and now your words are covered in lies. Is there a reason for us to make this thing still stay alive?
Is that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger-qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Part 3, Monday edition, 22 January 2018. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence in the basement of the Pentagon, Alamo, and somewhere in the mountains of Area 51. Broadcasting live, WTF Nation Radio. Hear us on and listen to us and hear us and all this other shit on Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, Hubba Hubba Hubba. Who do you trust? We even got some Twitters.
We got lots of Twitters.
We got some tweeties and dweeties.
If when we get you on Twitter, we'll be good to go.
Oh my God! You know you are fucking.
You would have fun. I have a lot of fun on Twitter.
You and Jose. No, Jose's been breaking my balls about this shit, man.
I know. Jose even talks about you. He had mentioned your several wives for one. I forget exactly one comment or whatever. But I think if you don't follow us, you need to. We're actually starting to really pick up steam on Twitter, which I'm very excited about. At cool. WTF Nation Radio. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're everywhere. You can find us on Mixer, the TuneIn app. Don't forget to go to our website, WTFNationRadio.com. We're taking over the globe. That's what we do here.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I saw something today. I actually just saw something right now on Facebook off of a Army reenlistment Facebook group. And I kind of want to push this out for if we can, just in case we have any other people. Myself, as a current military personnel, have the opportunity to opt into the new blended retirement program. During one of my drills, we even did we spent the whole weekend we had to make sure we did the training. You couldn't leave. You weren't getting paid unless you did the training. That's cool and all. Well, today's mission, besides signing my furlough paper, which was bullshit apparently, because Trump couldn't waited like another day, but whatever. Not salty about that at all. I was able to print off my W-2. It's, if you don't know, your W-2 is on my pay now for everyone, Reserve, National Guard, active duty. I was able to get my federal W-2, which is kind of cool. Felt productive on a very non-productive day. And then I saw the blended retirement opt-in. And when the instructions given to me when we were doing this was in the training, if I remember, was you're going to get an opportunity where you had to pick between the two. You were going to have to either go, I want to do the legacy program, which is now, you get if you're in the reserve, you get yours you do your 20 years, qualifying years, and then you get your retirement at retirement age, or like you are active duty. If you're an old man like Ice, you do your 20 years or his 50 years. I think he's at right now.
I don't qualify for it. I don't get the blended. I'm saying I don't get the blended. You're right. I am too old.
You're way too old. You got more years than like 3 soldiers combined.
Let's put it this way: they said when it says soldiers must have entered in this year of service to get the blended retirement system, I'm older than that date.
And there is a cutoff in case you're stupid, didn't do the training or no one made you do the training. There is a certain people like Ice who's been in for a while. He doesn't qualify. He doesn't have to worry about it. People within my range, that's I think it's like if you're under 12 years, they say you can opt in for it, and there is a site you can go to that will actually you can actually put in your numbers, and it'll break down for you.
But wait,
I would be out like $30,000.
But wait, there's more.
I jumped into what?
But there's more. What happens if you don't opt in or opt out? What happens? What does the Army do for you?
Actually, the way they have it set up on my pay, to me it looks like they're tricking soldiers. So when it was described as you would have to, you'd go into the system and you would pick between the two.
Yeah.
So I saw it's at the very top. It's a blended retirement system opt-in. So I was like, okay. So I clicked onto that, and then it says, "Did you complete the training?" Yes, I did. And I read it. And did you complete the training? Yes, I did. I completed the training. Got my certificate, my participation trophy for that drill. Good to go. But then it gets you. It does. It's not actually having you pick between the two. You're actually opting in exactly like it says. It's kind of what they told you in the training kind of is tricking you to get you to opt in. So if you have to read everything carefully, because I myself, and I like to think of myself as, a little pretty sharp, knife in the toolbox here, but I almost opted in for the blended retirement, screwing myself out about 30-something thousand, because you can't switch out. Like once you pick between the two, you're done. So it seems like if you're staying legacy, you either are legacy, or you do the blended retirement. Like my night boy, blended retirement. We're not doing blended retirement. I'll lose out too much money.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I saw that.
So safety message for you guys. Read.
Now, it's just one of those things that you got to be careful, because you have to. Somebody said that the Army is going to do it for you. That's what I'm hearing. So, anyways, my point being is that retirement
make
and
sure
veterans.
You read
yeah, make sure you read
retirements. Don't let my pay get you.
What I'm saying, but retirements and benefits and all this other stuff would not have been affected by the retirement and the VA dealio with fucking with the shutdown. So
and that was a good news too, finding that out, because I didn't know. I didn't know either. I've never had disability.
Exactly.
And been and had a government shutdown. So knowing that, at least was getting that, and then finding out I was getting another page. I was all for it. Shut down the government for a couple of days. Let me spend some time with my kids without me blowing through vacation days. I was okay with it, but no.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Chuck Schumer had to go and blink and pussy out.
Dude, who cares? I mean, the way I see it, again,
nobody.
Tomorrow, damn it. Oh, that's what it was. You wanted sham time. But the thing was
I honestly wanted at least 24 to 48 hours. Just let me sham. Like,
if
you're gonna
they
put me through all this stress of a government shutdown and what it could affect with my finances and my rent and my family. After all that, and then you just turn around and make me go into work on Monday, and then Tuesday go, you're good to go. I'm sorry, you owe me like at least 24 hours to just fuck off.
No, but my point. But my point being with that is that
I'm a good soldier.
I don't see, again, it's not supposed to be about who won or who lost. This actually, I have seen this progress into something, and that's why everyone's freaking out, because no one's ever. This is new territory now. This is new territory. There is no going back and forth with whatever. And the individuals, here's my only complaint about this whole thing. There's only like 2 or 3 people fucking speaking. Hey, look, our country will not be ruled by motherfuckers from New York or California or Kentucky. That's what it's. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that it looks like there's like a usurped dual government, like how in Germany there's 2 positions. There's the German president and there's the German chancellor. The German chancellor actually has some official cabinet, but the president is the one that handles all the other shit. And so that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing. I don't want that to happen. It should not be shared. There's no fucking shared power between the executive branch. At least basic civics will tell you that there's 3 branches to the government. And it seems like lately everyone's miring all 3 branches together. So when the legislative branch is saying no, this is this and this, and they become political, then the fucking, of course, the fucking judicial branch gets all fucking, and then they see another fucking, the executive branch, everyone starts fucking going into each other's fucking lanes, and then you're like, fuck, dude. If you actually, that's why I'm telling you, that's why I think the president was quiet, because I think somebody said, dude, you better shut up on this. It's best just to shut the fuck up and just watch these. It's like a cripple fight. It's like 2 profiles going at it. It's like fucking, it's like Timmy and fucking Jimmy from South Park going at it. Let them fucking go at it and see what fucking happens. And then you
love
can
that episode.
Yeah. And then you can see, the results, or you could see whatever. Because I tell you what, the one thing I've never heard the president say so far is what he's saying with I. He's like, our great economy is doing this, and our great is doing this, and our. Look when Congress people talk. I introduced a bill, and I did this, and I did that. There's no fucking we. There was no fucking all this other shit. So I'm glad that he kind of like was either. I honestly think that he has handlers. Like he has like a bunch of people on his Twitter account, and then he approves messages. Like he has little fucking squeakers. Now what I didn't fucking like is when everyone tried to make it sound like there was outliers. There were these people that were calling the outliers. They're actually saying that fucking the chief of staff, John Kelly, was getting involved in this. They were saying that his chief of staff, that the president's chief of staff, was getting involved in this. And I'm thinking, dude, do you got proof? I mean, you got proof? I mean, if you have something, you got the goods. Let me see it. You know he's been involved in something like that, or you have something going on. Let me see it. And then I'll say, yeah, that's fucked up. But don't just say, oh, he had something to do with it. Motherfucker talks to him every fucking day. He didn't fucking do that. Well, it's because John Kelly was involved in the chief of staff was involved. No, he almost had no deal. No, they brought back the government for a little bit. It just said.
I don't. You know, I hate when they try to throw. Oh, this happened. No, I agree with you. Like, look, show me if you're gonna call out stuff like that, you're gonna make it claims like this. Go ahead. Show me when they were in the same room together or this conversation they had. Just at this point, maybe the president's gotten smarter and realized that, from the, that this is one of those times. Maybe he's got the right people like John Kelly telling him, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Sir,
and that's probably what happened.
Let them work it out. Whatever the case, a deal got done enough where federal workers and soldiers are getting paid. They're doing their jobs, going back to doing the great work that I like to think that my office does and everyone does. Then that's what matters. If you have to kick the can to make a real deal get done, then one, be real about that and get the deal done. But two, keep the ship going. You don't sink the ship to hope for a better captain or for a better course of let's sink the ship because then we'll decide which course we need to go. No, you keep the boat going and just decide the course. But they got 3 weeks now. It's signed. It's done. Everyone, regardless, winners or losers, however you look at it, it is done. The U.S. economy is back. The U.S. working, federal working, and the military is back up and running and getting paid for. Now, our politicians, however capacity, whatever they have to do, whatever bipartisan crap, bipartisan awesomes they got to do, whatever partisan crap they're going to try, they just need to do their job. I mean, that is why, and like Mom said earlier, if you don't like these guys, you have a chance to vote them out. They aren't stuck there forever. They go up for re-election. There's a bunch going up for re-election this year alone, where so get involved. Primaries, I think, are still, a lot of the primaries are, I think, still happening, or they're getting close to ending, or they've ended. If they have, then get involved. If there's a libertarian guy that you'd rather be in a Senate spot than the Democrat Republican, there you go. If there's if Jill Stein is running for Senate somewhere and you really want her to be a senator instead of the Republican Libertarian, then vote for her. But when you don't vote for these small elections, you only vote for these big elections, you have no say and you deal with the crap we have to deal with. That's just how it goes. So, I mean, they have 3 weeks. They know that I think the American people were very vocal this time by being very unhappy, regardless of who they blamed, unhappy that we couldn't do the politicians, the senators and congressmen could not do the minimum of their job. They couldn't even meet the standard of their job to just pass a budget. I mean, holy crap!
It's their job.
I trust a private with a new tank than I do congressmen with a budget.
Yeah, the thing is it's not that difficult. It's just balancing a giant fucking checkbook and seeing how much money you have for the budget. What's the difficulty about it? You cannot connect budgetary constraints to something that is administrative in its constraints. So if you're talking about bureaucracy and you're talking about red tape over fucking DACA, what does the budget have anything to fucking do with that? Now, of course, obviously funding for the wall and all this stuff happens, but this was stalled. You want to talk about kicking the can down the road? Congress has kicked the can down the road for the border wall for fucking since the 90s. Yeah, I remember back time when I tried to do the wall. It didn't work out that way. So glad I didn't meet fucking Clinton. Anyways, but yeah, same fucking thing. Same fucking thing. They have been kicking the can down. So if you want to start on DACA, let's uncover all the laws they haven't fucking finished yet then. Let's open them up. Fucking A, dude.
And it's not like these congressmen are doing this job on their own. You don't see Lindsey Graham hunched over a budget trying to figure out these numbers for all these like thousands or hundreds of programs and things that they're figuring out. They have teams and teams of the smartest people they can hire, making a lot of money, to sit down and look at all these things and give these are the numbers, sir, and then having the congressman going, okay, these are the options. Let's, what can we do if we drop the numbers from this? What can we add to this? I mean, it's not like Lindsey Graham or Mitch McConnell or Schumer or Pelosi. Nobody's doing this on their own. No one's crunching numbers unless we have some mathematician person up there and no one told us, and that's what they ran on. I'm super smart. I can bounce a budget by myself.
None of them did
with
that.
my own calculator. If that's the case, then go on you. But they have all these people. They literally have to just agree on the big numbers. They don't agree on the cents. They agree on the billions and which programs should get an increase and a decrease. That's their job. That's not that damn hard. If you give me the facts, I can make an informed decision based on the numbers if I have them. But I think we're still, and maybe it was because of the last election where I think we've gone even more, well, no, I'll even go back to the last 8 years where we've gone a lot more partisan. All these,
they've gone away from what their base is.
For doing all these executive orders when Obama really, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Bush and Clinton have their own executive orders, but their executive orders seem to be a lot like smaller in scope and what they took, what they were covering than Obama, did these wide sweeping executive orders and then get mad because Trump's doing that. We have all these problems of partisanship where everyone's fighting because, well, they're not my party, so I'm going to do everything to stop them from everything instead of actually working together like they're supposed to. I think our whole government system is just, they need to lock everyone in the chambers. They need to pass out a couple of doobies, maybe play some Grateful Dead or some Pink Floyd, and they all need to relax, chill out, and just do their job.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, don't let them hang out with the green room guys. I'm just saying, give them a couple things to relax. Even if they don't smoke, they'll get secondhand. They'll at least chill, and maybe they'll get off their, I'm a Republican, so if a Democrat brings me anything, I'm going to go tell him to fuck himself and his mother because they're a Democrat. Instead of going, I don't really like that particular idea, but what if we did something more like this and then negotiate to something that's compromised? I mean, I was taught that as a kid, maybe because I was raised with, I was the oldest of 7. I was taught compromise, even though I was the oldest and could kick them. Well, the worst part was when they would gang up on me and like 3 of them would beat the hell out of me or something. But still, this should be a nation of compromise. I mean, granted, I can't say that I've ever seen a time where all our politicians have compromised and to get a job done, and when it does, it's a freaking miraculous miracle and everything. But hey, I'm a Christian. I believe in miracles. Why not a chance for the Republicans and the Democrats and maybe these new age folks coming in, these younger non-establishment, or fucking Bernie Sanders, who's like, I don't know what keeps that man standing, or Elizabeth Warren, who steals the soul of children to keep her going, or whatever, or Mitch McConnell, who's on whiskey and hate. I don't know what keeps them going, but maybe we just need a new age of politicians.
Because they've all gone.
When I read off about the 2018 Democrats running for office, how they did bipartisan work, and it's going to help them in the midterm.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's what it takes.
No, but
maybe it's the bipartisan is going to help them
keep
their
it's not,
jobs, and it's going to push out the other folks.
But none of them in the way they fucking want to do shit. They have fucking they've all gone too far now within their party to even want to negotiate. That's the biggest issue that I have, is that they've all went so fucking right or so fucking left. There's no centrist involved, and when a centrist comes in there that tries to lay out something that's supposed to be that's come to the negotiating table, well, going back to what I was saying, with part of the negotiating is what you have to compromise something for whatever, which something isn't a big deal. That's what was my whole beef about the military being shouldn't even brought up. That should have been like one of the first few things. Okay, veterans fucking extended mental health and removing veterans off of opioids and attacking the opiate crisis and military pay. Everyone should have been a resounding yay on that.
we are not something that we need to be compromised about.
Exactly.
Let us do our job. We do it. It's hard enough on our families.
Exactly.
On us. There's no compromise.
Exactly.
The military should not be a compromising thing. But you're right. It made it into we have to compromise, and they couldn't even do that in order to make sure the government was the military was taken care of, because they couldn't do that. That was too much for them, and that pisses me. And that really does piss me off, because you're exactly right. The Schumers, the McConnells, the whatever you call them, the establishment, politicians. These guys are so, I'm a Republican. This is and that they do not vote anything outside of their tiny little box, and then nothing gets done. And it takes it where
exactly
you need to have a party that has a sweeping, and I'm talking like you couldn't even filibuster if you tried the House, Senate control, and the presidency in order to really get any kind of legitimate shit done. I mean, that's what President Obama had to do to get the Affordable Care Act through, and even then,
even his own party
had trouble with his own party when he had full control and could have just ran everything through.
Exactly.
That was his first 4 years when he had full sweeping control. That was his only really big accomplishment.
Correct.
When he could have pushed through everything.
Correct.
Everything the Democrats wanted at that time, he could have. But even then, his hardline party guys could not just come together. And it's. I don't know. I like to think that after this 3 weeks might be a wake up call to our government that we're, and then maybe, and also the election of our president, who a lot of people, myself included, thought had no chance in hell, and it was funny that he was running, because he's not going to win. It's Donald Trump. That's not what he. I mean,
anyone.
Maybe it's that oh shit, somebody like Donald Trump, who's so different, like it or not, so different, can win, that maybe other people are going to start getting worried and go, maybe I need to start doing my job better.
Well, this definitely will cause some definite, because people are not going to remember. They're going to see who are the ones, and that's why you notice you didn't see fucking Ted Cruz. You barely saw Marco Rubio talk. You barely saw fucking Paul Ryan talk. You barely saw them talk, because they want to remain in fucking office. And the young ones, the young bucks, are the ones that are like, ooh, hey. But, the foundation. See, that's another thing, too. Congress shouldn't have a foundation like that. The Constitution is the foundation to run Congress, not the people in Congress. So there should not be any fucking, nobody's fucking with Schumer and nobody's fucking with Lindsey Graham because they've been there forever. I'm sorry. You ever heard the term where, what was it? You when you've been fucking the hero and you're there long enough to become the enemy? That's what's gonna fucking happen. You're not doing if you're not doing anything, if you've not made any notable change, you need to get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Have some new blood come in. So I think the midterm elections are going to have a lot of the finger pointing, and it sucks because I watch C-SPAN, and I can see it. I see it happening. I see who are the yays and see who are the nays. They put it on C-SPAN every fucking day when you're watching a vote. Watch a vote. Or you can just get it on YouTube and you'll be able to see it and fast forward it for you young kids that are, detergent pod challenge that want to fucking see the ending. If you fucking watch that shit and you see who are the nays and who are the yays, you'd be quite surprised on who's been the yays lately. It's been the Democrats, and because the Republicans the Democrats are not only butthurt too, but the fucking Republicans are even more buttsore about Trump getting elected. So a lot of this obstructionism is on both sides. And I don't think when this end happens, and I think that's why I think some concessions are going back and forth, because they're probably saying he might be right. Because this is new, like I said before, this is new territory. Now we're talking about going forward in negotiation, whatever. Hey, all you fucking sidebar motherfuckers, shut up. You're not the one that's pushing it. I'll be honest with you right now that if Schumer is the one that's pushing it, I'm fucking okay for it, man. I'm okay for him to push to see what kind of immigration reform he has. We're talking about immigration reform. There has to be some law to it. Otherwise, I'm jumping the fence at Disneyland. Meanwhile, there are DACA recipients or DACA people or fucking dreamers, and that's nothing too. You're not fucking dreamers. If you're defiantly opening against a fucking government, you're not dream. You're a disrespectful fuck that needs to get kicked out. Go be disrespectful in fucking your country and see what happens to your fucking to the government. What is the government going to do to you? Government's gonna fucking throw you in fucking jail or fucking behead you on the streets. They don't give a fuck about you. So have some respect and don't go to Disneyland. It's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, not a fucking protest area.
I saw that today.
Did you see that? The fucking guys are protesting at fucking Disneyland. What the fuck are you gonna have? What the fuck you want? You want fucking Mickey Mouse?
About to come out and whoop your ass.
Yeah, or Mickey Mouse is gonna.
But, like, here's the thing with Disneyland. A few years ago, like, my sister did an internship there, and what they did, like, people who have been working there for years, literally told them, "You're getting fired, so we can hire immigrants." And these immigrants that we're hiring, you got to train them, even though you're losing your job.
No, my whole point being is that.
That's why I laughed at the whole protest.
I don't give a fuck. No, I'm saying I don't give a no. What I don't give a fuck about that is that you're protesting at Disneyland. That's like going to fucking Publix or HEB and complaining about fucking minimum wage, but it's at a fucking grocery store. You're not. Your audience sucks. I'm there to hang out and go on the new rides that they have. Don't expect fucking Mickey Mouse or Goofy to come out going, hi, what do you want to help? Oh, gosh, it's time for fucking DACA. They're not gonna fucking do that. Don't. I mean, everyone. Don't get me wrong. I am the son of an immigrant. I am the son of you son of an immigrant. You damn right I am. I'm American though. I was born in this country. Hey, you want to know how you want to make it in this country? Yes, sir. Speak English. Yes, sir. I learned how to speak English. So I don't get the. What's so difficult about it? Which is kind of, I hate arguing with somebody because then they will start talking about stuff and then like, well, you don't understand it, blah, blah, blah. And I go, son of an immigrant. Yeah, but son of an immigrant. Yeah, but son of an immigrant. Legal. You can imagine when I go home, like during holidays, Thanksgiving, fucking Christmas and shit. All my illegal relatives don't want to talk to me. They think they think my
fuck that Cholo.
Yeah. They think that they think that fucking they think that my CAC is a connection to DHS and immigration. They think they think that my fucking buddies in the Migra, which I do have buddies in the Migra, are gonna fucking come over and come with me when we go hang out. I got family members that are legal fucking immigrants. That when they get their notice and it's time for them to pay, so that way they're legit, they go about and do, I don't know, what they're fucking supposed to do so they can be here legally. And they're family members. Hey, I got my green card, and okay, cool. Do you want to be an American? Well, no, not really, because I don't want to be an American. Okay, cool, but you're legit. I literally asked. I'm like a German fucking asking at the border. Your papers, please. Yeah, let me see your shit. Are you frickin' for real? Don't talk to me about anything that has to do with this fucking country unless you're here legally. Then you can kind of hang out and see what's going on. If you want to be a citizen, I will assist you in becoming a citizen. Let's go to the recruiting station.
Oh, I wanted to mention this since we were talking about Disney. Shout out to Minnie Mouse, who finally got her star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood.
That's what I'm talking about. You go.
That happened today, which was pretty cool. I don't know. I grew up with Disney.
Yeah,
like, I love Disney. Mm-hmm. Even though Disney has a lot of dark pieces to it, the Disney movies from Mary Poppins to Robin Hood and all the other, like the animated Robin Hood with the damn fox and bear and shit, which was awesome. It was cool to see, and actually had Minnie Mouse out there christening her star on the Walk of Fame, and she's the first Disney. I think it's like the first Disney character. I need to find that. But she's the first Walt Disney person to get their star on the Walk of Fame. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to Minnie Mouse. You're awesome. Love you.
Well, not only that, but she's the original pussy hat wearer.
You would bring that up.
I'm serious. She's got a pink hat, and you know what she did? She sits there and she stands by her man and all this other shit. Minnie Mouse has been throughout decades, been all happy and trying to bring joy to kids all around the world in different languages. And all she cares about is being a good person. That's all she cares about. And she has her pink bow. And being a dad, 2 daughters and a little boy, it is your dadly duties and your father. You have to sing all the songs. All the Disney movies you have to sing. So yes, as a card carrying member of Dad, I sing the songs. It's funny, and so it's on demand. It's like worse than fucking pay-per-view. When it comes to Disney songs, and Dad, remember that song? Let's play it. What was the name of that song again? Don't sing it. Well, Dad, isn't that called this song? Oh yeah, it's the Nightmare Before Christmas song. Okay.
Oh my God, I hate that movie. Oh, so let me correct myself real quick. This is the first time in 40 years that a Disney character has gotten a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 40 years ago was Mickey Mouse, and funny enough, the it was actually Katy Perry who actually announced her getting her star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, Katy Perry.
Oh, I kissed the girl.
Oh, front desk. Get her on front desk.
I used to propose to her when I was working for AFN Afghanistan. After every time I had to play a Katy Perry song, I used to propose to her after every song just in case she heard me.
I mean, you never know. I mean, your odds are pretty good.
You never know. Somebody might go, "Hey, I heard this guy talking about AFN radio." I mean,
you never know, man.
Doing like a Facebook Live, but yeah, you never know.
Katy Perry.
It was part of my shtick.
Katy Perry. I'm just saying, Katy Perry. Woo, woo.
So again, shout out to Minnie Mouse. You're awesome.
Yes, exactly, Minnie Mouse. Congratulations, Minnie Mouse. It's the thing I like being about here on WTF Nation Radio and doing the Monday show. It's all opinion, commentary, and news, and I like when we can cut loose and talk about shit that's pertinent in the world. Minnie Mouse, guys. Oh man, you know what? Oh man, Princess Ice is gonna probably tell me about this. Dude, did you know?
What's that?
That because she's a huge freaking Disney, everything Disney. Like I said, it's on demand. It's required. What was the name of that song again, Dad? And I'm thinking, what movie was that? Oh, that was from the which one? We're talking about the live Beauty and the Beast or the cartoon Beauty and the Beast? The live. You mean the Gaston song?
Like, what's funny is,
and I had to do it, and she wants me to animate myself, and I have to be all animated and dance around the freaking living room and also the shit. My kids are loving it because I'm Dad.
You're a good dad, though.
Dad, son.
Minx, Spanky, and we went and saw that together,
The
and we're
live
just
one?
all sitting there like, crying and teary
Oh my
and
God.
stuff. It was funny.
Well, watching it, see, that's the thing. Watching the live one, you know what? Actually, they did a pretty good job going from the cartoon to making it live. They did a good job with that. That was.
And I'll be honest, like with the cartoons, like I didn't really get into them, like since Disney has been doing like the live versions.
Well, because
like,
they're doing.
I love the live version.
Because they're doing it. They're doing true to the stories to which they originated from.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you were to really fucking have Snow White, Maleficent, that fucking chick, oh my God. Little one loved that one too. There was no singing involved, but she wanted to freaking have her horns and shit on her fucking head and be in a black
I love that
dress,
one too.
Being in a black
been
dress.
on a roll with making some pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Even they're like, hey, we're making a adaptation from this story, has been pretty on point. Like, there's really not a Disney movie that I can, since the 2000s, I can really like point at. They're like, I didn't like that. I mean, yes, you got the singing, like we have to have a Disney princess. I thought Brave was really cool. My oldest daughter really loves that movie. She loves Moana. My son likes Moana too. Frozen, of course, was a huge hit. And then these live actions they're doing, and they have a lot planned. They have Aladdin planned. They have Mulan planned. I think they actually started.
Yes, they started
filming
shooting Mulan.
after they nailed down the character. I think they're starting the film already.
Yep.
They have a live action Lion King. So I mean, I think it's cool that they're taking. Because you couldn't do back when they had to animate this stuff. While like the animation for the Lion King was pretty awesome because they actually got to see some of the behind the scenes. They're able to actually go up and see these animals really up close, almost like too up close, to see how they move and look, and so that's why they made the animation so well. But even then, they couldn't do what we can do now with live action. So they're able to take. Instead of having to make an animated story, they can make a story that'll be more for adults and kids instead of a cartoon, which tends to come off more as a kids movie.
Yeah,
and I think it's kind of cool that they're finding those ways with the current technology. And
exactly. Well, me and the
awesome
kids
stuff we have
saw.
now to make these more enjoyable across the spectrum instead of me going, fuck, it's Frozen again.
Yeah, exactly. well, no, don't get me wrong. Frozen, oh God. Hey, look, your kids just some kids just
Let it
aren't meant to be.
go.
Yeah,
Let it
God.
go.
Even my daughters make fun of me because they know, come on, Dad, you know you hate that song, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna fucking sing it. I refuse to sing that song. There was a movie that we watched a few weeks back that I remember watching when I was a kid. When this movie came out as a kid, it was one of the first live action animation movies put together. It was called Pete's Dragon, and
Yes.
that movie back in the day was kind of like, yeah, okay, that was kind of okay. That kind of got you in the feels. But the remake for that movie, holy fuck, dude, all feel good and shit. I was crying like a
tearing up at the
bitch.
end.
No, I'll admit
I
it.
hate him so much.
Yeah, I was crying. I'll admit it because it brought back memories for me in my childhood. And seeing my kids all crying, I'm like, Dad, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Shut up. Dude, that was an awesome movie. So you're right. They the way they adapt from the original cartoons, I think it's awesome because it puts a level of seriousness into it. I can't wait to see how the Lion King's gonna be. I love the Lion King. It's one of the best. So yeah, exactly, Spence. I remember the original too. But anyways,
They got a lot of great movies planned out.
Yeah.
And,
they seem to be fucking up Star Wars a lot, but I guess we'll have to just watch the
we'll see. I did like the Last Jedi, but since we're talking about movies, I've been scrolling through and I think Facebook listens to me. So here's some interesting movies that are being developed and people are being casted for them. Do you remember the game Duke Nukem?
Yes. Hell yeah.
Finally, they tried doing this in the early 2000s, coming out with the Duke Nukem game.
Yep.
They also tried around the same time. They did the Doom game that had The Rock, and then I forget the other guy. I always forget his name, but he's been in a lot of movies. Doom, as you remember, I own it, but I kind of own it because somebody gave it to me. It's not a great movie, but it's kind of cool how they did the first person like shooter look at the end.
Yeah.
So they kind of shot down a lot of video game. I mean, that's one reason why Halo was never created, just because it
wouldn't be
saw
done right.
that wasn't working out. So Duke Nukem is actually they're really trying to push this movie. They're getting really close, and they're targeting none other than John Cena to play the main character, which is pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, but they're gonna have to like grow. Oh yeah, Rampage is coming out too. They're gonna have to.
Rampage looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
My dad
does.
doesn't really like seeing. My dad doesn't like seeing anything other than like westerns, and then he liked Range 15. He thought that was funny as hell.
Well, because me and your dad are the same age.
But, yeah, he actually wants to see Rampage. I had to remind him that was a video game that I used to play
In the
and
arcades.
beat up on my cousin with.
No, that used to be an arcade game, like in the stand-up arcade with quarters. But yeah, no.
I always played as the wolf. Always played as the wolf.
Well, the thing is with John Cena playing Duke Nukem, though, they're gonna have to make him taller because Duke Nukem's a big dude in the game.
I mean, hey, if they can make Tom Cruise look like he's the same height as everyone else in all these movies, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
you do
you're
know
right.
the man is like 5'4" or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's
they
tall
make
as-
him
yeah.
look like 6 foot sometimes.
He's as tall as Baby Ice, yeah.
Yeah. And then check this out. So, who remembers the game, and the movie Clue?
Of course,
It's one of my favorite cult classic movies.
Like the
I
Clue?
love. Yeah, Clue.
Yes,
like with Tim Curry playing the butler.
Yes.
It's a great movie. I mean, I love Tim Curry. I love him in almost everything he does.
Yes.
Even his crappy little cameos and like when they were doing all the spoofs on horror movies and such. Like Clue is still one of my favorite like movies with him in it. So they're actually gonna remake it, and Ryan Reynolds is taking on the Clue remake and signs a big deal with 20th Century Fox. It's a 3-year first look deal with Ryan Reynolds to hopefully redo Clue in a newer sense, I guess.
I'm skeptic.
Well, if Ryan Reynolds gets the same kind of like dialogue freedom as he kind of had in Deadpool, maybe not like the same, you can't be the same, but the same type of freedom he had where he just like they wrote him to let him do what he wants. I think Clue would be cool, but I find it's going to be a little hard for me to match this movie with the nostalgia of the old one. Like, I think that's going to cripple it.
And that's
but
why
that is kind of cool that Ryan Reynolds is taking.
Yeah,
is going to
exactly.
be taking on that movie.
But that's why Star Wars isn't doing so good right now, because everyone's trying to get on goddamn nostalgia. That's why. And you're right. The Last Jedi. That's the best part I liked about it. Move the fuck on.
It's different than
exactly.
It really like says, hey, this is what you know about Star Wars. We're going to change everything to move it forward. Yeah, you're either going to like it or you're not.
Well,
and
yeah.
I was one of the person that can
it.
accept the change
Yep.
and go, okay,
Yep.
This is how Star Wars is going to be.
Well,
now.
because
So we're
because Star Wars isn't all about a story about intergalactic fucking family drama. You know what I mean? There's other pieces in it. They tried it with fucking the government part of it. They tried us with other shit, and then they tried to move the fucking the cold and sterile aesthetic of the original 1977 Star Wars movie. No Episode 4, no New Hope, just Star Wars. That aesthetic is what everyone's trying to lock onto, and trying to get onto The Empire Strikes Back. Leave it alone. Just it needs to go, because what I thought was badass in a fucking scene in Star Wars, kids nowadays to them don't see it that way. It's again, there's some fans that are and just like everyone, how everyone hated the prequels. Why? Because everyone was trying to go. Well, I take it back about the prequels.
Prequels were, but
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I see exactly what you're saying. It's just, hey, guess what? We're moving forward. It's not the 70s kids generation of Star Wars anymore, and we have to move the story away from the Skywalkers.
Exactly.
Now, the last piece of pop culture, because I know you need to get into the house cleaning.
Yep.
Neil Diamond announced that he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and is retiring from touring. That is as of today.
Yeah, he played the last show.
He canceled the next leg of his 50th anniversary tour and is officially over with. I listen to Neil Diamond. I kind of blame, I think, my mom for that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like all his songs, but there's quite a few that I do like. You know, Sweet Caroline. Who can't not sing that song when it comes on, especially at a bar?
Right.
So Flash is wishing. Flash is wishing Neil Diamond a. Well, I guess there's no recovery.
There's no recovery for that.
Hey, best of luck to you.
Exactly. Yeah, hang in there.
Michael J. Fox can handle it.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, it is sad that, you know, that's another star that, you know, another of like good music that's not going to be touring anymore. So.
Hey, you said you want to talk about the last piece of entertainment news with a famous singer that died during the same time the Las Vegas shooting was happening?
Was it Tom Petty?
Yeah.
Yes. It was reported after a lot of speculation and actually a lot of time that Tom Petty's official cause of death was an accidental drug overdose. It does go. A lot of people did use it as a, you know, we need to do more opioid crisis and stuff like that. But it does suck that somebody as awesome as Tom Petty, you know, couldn't watch his drugs and, you know, and stuff like that. And it is very sad that he had to go. He's, you know, still one of my favorites, regardless, because it's the Super Bowl. My Giants beat the Patriots. Boom. The first time, not the second time. And did one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows that I can remember. But it is pretty sad. But that is his official diagnosis. I know there's a lot of speculation. Some people thought that it was, you know, an accidental death, like somebody accidentally killed him or something like that. But it was a accidental drug overdose caused, unfortunately, by himself. So,
and so that's another
watch
thing.
what you're putting in yourself, boys and girls.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in my old age, in my advanced age, I take medication myself that I have to be careful that if I don't.
A lot of Viagra.
Anyways, no. That if I'm not careful, I could die. So it's one of those things to where it's a crazy mixture that I have to make sure that I'm straight and make sure that it happens. And if I don't follow it, then yeah.
It's not honestly, it's not an old age thing. It's just every age.
Everyone's blaming,
like, you gotta be aware with what meds you're taking.
But everyone's
and
blaming
drinking on top of this.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's blaming the fucking doctor. Everyone is blaming the doctor that he should have fucking had. And somebody should go after the doctor.
And I'm sure if you were, you know, to talk to Minx about this, but patients lie to their doctors.
Bingo. I was just about to say. So, anywho, let me do some house cleaning. Shit. See, I kind of like how our flow is going now with this way we're doing our Monday nights. Flash, I like that shit. bitching about some shit in the beginning, and then
And then
fucking
we
winners and
we
losers,
end it with some feel good
and then
some,
feel
like,
good
cool stuff.
entertainment
You
stuff.
love
Yeah, entertainment stuff. After that, after we do some commentary and shit like that, then we go into the winners and losers, and then we go into the. I like this. This is good shit. Gets a lot of shit off your fucking chest and gets you in the fucking conversation. So tomorrow we're gonna have Todd Thompson and Steve Rubin from the Waves Project. The Waves Project, not the Navy Waves, but the Wounded American Veterans Experience SCUBA. Again, Scuba Steve provided wounded American veterans and their families the opportunity to experience scuba diving. The Waves Project helps combat wounded American veterans to participate in a challenging and exciting sport designed to facilitate the rehabilitation process of their injuries, as well as bring the family along, so that way they focus on just not serving the veteran, but everybody in the family as well. It's pretty cool. And then we have Dan from Hire Our Heroes. He's going to come on here. He's a veteran from the U.S. Marine Corps. He founded Hire for Heroes, and it's a full-service staffing and recruiting solutions firm exclusive for our veterans. It's a not-for-profit organization founded by veterans for veterans. Make sure they get vilified. They partner with World. I say that all the time. I said that at work today. They need to get vilified. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I like that shit. Don't stop. Keep going. No way, dude. Mikey, I gotta go. Shit. The government's opening tomorrow. I gotta see what's going on. I gotta see what civilians decided to say. Fuck it. I'm out of here. I'm never coming back. Take their job. Maybe drop some retirement paper and said, I'm taking a civilian job. No fucking way. Anyways, so they partner with world-class organizations and people who share their vision. They also offer veterans a cost-free and best-in-class transition experience. Hiring Our Heroes will also secure opportunities for employment, so our veteran population can cultivate their talents and aptitudes. Friday, on Friday Night Freedom, we got Youper Chick coming on. The Youper, which is, for what you guys don't know what a Youper is, it's somebody from the Upper Peninsula of, Michigan or something like that? As an Army veteran and photographer, and she'll be able to talk about what she does for military women, military God damn, I can't even talk right now. God.
She's a pretty complete badass. That's
yeah,
what she is.
I was about to say she's an e-mentor in several areas, and careers and family and health, and family life. We got Blake Stillwell coming on next Monday from We Are the Mighty. We are the mighty. We are the mighty. Anyways, he's a senior director of digital video content and a mandatory fun podcast host. If you guys don't know who We Are the Mighty is, they're the ones that provide interesting articles and tidbits of information, sometimes satirical, sometimes serious. Blake has a traveler, writer, and erstwhile adventurer, and with degrees in design, television, and film, public relations, and international relations. He's also a former U.S. Air Force combat cameraman. What is it with these fucking lens caps coming on here to fucking talk with us? In Iraq War vet, we're
awesome.
I was about to say you staging a coup, you staging a shutdown. He's also.
Hey, I'm just helping bringing on the people that are awesome, which is
nothing wrong with that.
Affairs and public affairs type people. Just saying.
Just saying. Spent time in the field as a photographer, communications officer in the Middle East and Africa for the Near East Foundation. He also worked for ABC News, NBC, HBO, and the White House. Next Friday, we also have Mary Harper from Operation Shoebox. Operation Shoebox is a founder. Mary Harper is a founder of Operation Shoebox, and we'll be able to discuss what they do for our troops overseas and how the holiday season will sending them thousands of shoeboxes to them. Are there any shoes in there? No. There's looks like packing, coffee, socks, toothpaste, sports gear, and care packages. Yeah, it's pretty cool. PJ Walsh, 5 February. Navy veteran PJ Walsh is known for the hardest working comedians behind the microphone. His boundless energy and strength of his physical comedy have carried him throughout the globe, from the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City to 20 overseas tours for U.S. troops in several locations, to include Iraq, Afghanistan. PJ will be back on to tell us his recent tour overseas and let us know what he's been up to. God damn, February is filling the fuck up, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Like, Tuesday shows are already booked.
Kate Mannion, Marine Corps. Okay, we got lens caps, we got comcams, we got fucking reporters and journalists and Marines coming on here a lot. What isn't there? Don't the crayons have anything to? They don't. They was it? What is it? Fucking Terminal Lance not letting them on the show.
We should try getting Terminal Lance. I don't think we've asked.
We should
Yes,
get him on.
we have.
We have.
We have.
Yeah, we try to get him on.
Bastards.
Get on here, Terminal Lance. She's deployed to Afghanistan twice and even crapped her pants there once. Well, then there you go. After getting her finishing degree at Fordham University in New York City, she participated in the Veteran Immersion Program with The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. She's a contributor for the. Well, I think Jose told me about this chick.
Oh, your next wife?
No, Jose says.
Girlfriend?
He likes messing. No, he likes messing with me, and what he'll do is he'll throw little tidbits. He's like, "Hey, this. If you were on Twitter, you'd see this." Or if you were on Twitter,
you need to sign up for Twitter.
Oh man, I don't know.
Do it.
It seems like it's more. It seems like it's very fucking. It seems like it's too fucking involving.
One of us.
Yeah. Anyway.
WTF 6 is on there now. I mean, we need items to be.
Oh my God, I know.
Represent.
The boss, the big boss. WTF 6. Don't fuck with him. He'll send drones after you and shit. So anyway, she's a military contributor for the site The Duffel Blog, and coordinates social media for Barstool Sports Military Podcast, Zero Blog 30. She's done sketch, improv, stand-up, and now bombs at stand-up open mics in the Philly area. Nice. Show every night except for Wednesdays 20 to 2300. Tuesdays and Thursdays we got the taco truck from 12 to 1400. Wednesday nights you might catch some live streaming of some video games from WTF Nation Gaming. And you even might see some additional podcasts or something like that get thrown up there. We get a podcast every night. After every show, it gets thrown up there. Be on the lookout. Go to WTFNationRadio.com. You'll be able to see all the podcasts we've had from our old shows. You'll be able to download them and all that stuff. You even got them on iTunes now. We get the iTuneage working and rolling. So follow us on Twitter. If it's got a fucking WTF Nation Radio, it's a /Twitter /WTFNR /Instagram /W.com. Anyways, you guys got anything for me?
Nope.
Oh man.
Have a great night. Love you guys.
Have a great night, and y'all take it sleazy. See ya. Shots.
Night. Shots.
Pussy hats.
Doing that shit, boy. Yeah, I see you. I see you, boy. It's that shit, man. Pulling the motherfucking house. Get paid, get paid, get money, get money.
You said you'd never ever break down, but here I am sweeping pieces off of the ground. You said you'd never ever play to crowds, but I've seen you hoping to play songs to them now. I've spent all night long, scared of tomorrow, broke my alarm. Everything's almost lost, pick it up slow, before it's gone.
Fragile.
We're shouting now.
I never thought I'd be so fragile.
You're not alone.
If it didn't break before it's about to,
We've been here before.
I don't ever wanna change. I'm fragile. I don't ever.
Some of the people appointed to give an opinion never do get it. I want you to come on and gobble a Jimmy and die. Need to be given the remedy and why critics are really the enemy and can't stand the way they slam today's gifted effing incredible get fanned away with grants to pay this gem well a scripted deaf and impeccable rider I'm gonna put everything in a flow. I'm the non, I'ma look very mean when I'm foe. Scribalometer has never been at a show. By the time it'll be better living in the stove, cause they wrote nothing but lies, quotes stuck in my eyes, amateur writer dissing. He's a beginner in hopes for your demise, folks some are despised, never do try to listen. It's real, I'm mad, clueless when you scribble on your pad. How you gonna criticize with a chisel on your ass, sizzle in your ass? You don't really get why I'm so pissed. Understand this. Understand this. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Yes, I'm.
tell me that my name is big as Venus, Jupiter, than Uranus. Tell me that your anus got your head in it. I can smell the articles and know you're heinous. Tell me that you love me, always thinking of me, unconditional. I'm hoping I'm your favorite. Grab a fishing pole and throw me with a shark. That's the feeling I get when you're concentrating on this pen, on this pad. Tell me you willing to disown my craft. Tell me the feeling of picking apart this track. Putting my heart and my soul in these lines, telling me better than gold all the time. Looking to bury a deep hole for mine. This is more than you and this is more than you and your entire building. Slander and abusing what I call a realist. Coming from a student, told myself to use a poem as a Uzi. Empty magazine, I seen a magazine. You see my trigger finger, then I started shooting. That was nicotine, I'm about to smoke them all. A journalist involved, you should've known my music. We're shouting now.
I never thought I'd be so fragile.
You're not alone.
It didn't break before it's about to.
We've been here before.
I never wanna change. I'm fragile. I'll never.
It gladdens me to know that Odin prepares for a feast. This hero that comes into Valhalla does not lament his death. The Aesir will welcome me. My death comes without apology, and I welcome the Valkyries to summon me home.
Fuck 'em all. In the place, everybody getting rainy. Punks better cup your lady, can't nobody tame me. Blame me for keeping the running yard rainy. Ladies used to hate me, now they coming out their panties. Girls on the job shack, pocket full of socks, yeah. Got a fat notch, yeah. Something don't squat, yeah. Down for the block, yeah. Tryna be hot but you flop, wanna be shot to the top but you not. I ain't never seen so much green than when I seen when my team hit the scene. It must be a dream. Hit the stage, everybody holler, getting thrown with the shows for a bigger dollar. Father, I don't wanna leave nobody toothless, cause they greedy in the middle of what I do best. You finna see me in the TV with a few guests. We bout to bubble, baby, get your waterproof vest.
Club in the back, I'm smoking bud in the back. I'm waiting for niggas to trip, cause bitch I love to scrap. I went from rocks to Z's, writing raps and movies. I went from trusting these tricks, now they all wanna sue me. So fuck them all in the back, I'm smoking bud in the back. I'm waiting for niggas to trip, cause bitch I love to scrap. I went from rocks to Z's, writing raps and movies. I went from trusting these tricks, now they all wanna sue me. For black bags with enemies, cut up so they remember me. Soak them in Hennessy so they relatives know it's me. You can bet your last dollar I'll dick them and holler. Riding these hoochies like they some heavy ass Chevy and Impala. Jump up and get your ass shot up. From a profit, pick my Glock up. I'm busting with such efficiency. Popping, nobody got a holler. Outlaw riders, mash up on the gas pedal. Vacate the sink out the cash and stash the precious metal. True to the game, I claim. Outlaw riders, we give a fuck what they try. Step over behind the kid and picture me sticking niggas, but ain't watching change. Take back, little nigga, and watch the game.
The Aesir will welcome me. My death comes without apology, and I welcome the Valkyries to summon me home.
Will not be thugging till I die. Will not be thugging till I die. Will not be thugging till I never fade it. Now that we made it, my adversaries is playing. Hate a club in the back, I'm smoking bud in the back. I'm waiting for niggas to trip, cause bitch I love to scrap. I went from rocks to Z's, writing raps and movies. I went from trusting the tricks, now they all wanna sue me, so fuck them all.
so these kids know that I'm talking to them. Give it back to these damn critics and sock it to them. I'm like a thug with a little bit of pop influence. I spew it with cock, got you bitches rocking to it. You motherfuckers can never do it like I can do it. Don't even try to look stupid, do not pursue it. Don't ever in your life try to knock the truest. I spit the illest shit ever been tried.
This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.